It's time for some hostile therapy.
All right, welcome back to Hostile Therapy with Big Red here on Thursday, a few days away from that horrible holiday that's coming up on Monday. I ain't got to worry about it no more, but some of y'all have too. Christmas. This is me, Big Red, with Lord Trent, LT, back for another episode. John the Icon in the background with some eerie lights on and Captain America's shield.
And you know it. Want me to go get the Wolverine claws?
On your left.
I'll go, bruh. I will do the show with the Wolverine claws on.
That's going to make it very hard to type, though, I imagine.
I ain't got to type.
Okay.
I'll take them off.
You ain't got to type.
That's right.
We got Tim is up here in the background, too. Maybe he's fixing his mic or his camera, but he'll be up there in a second.
Some Chick-fil-A.
You got some Chick-fil-A?
Nah, I said he's smashing Chick-fil-A.
I wish I was right now.
Now I can give you this. I can do this for you if you like. I can do the show like this.
What you got going on?
I can always do the show like this.
All right, man. All right.
All day.
All right. I'm Team Cap all the way. Actually, I'm Team T'Challa. Recast T'Challa.
Bruh.
Hey, you know what? That's kind of relatable to today's topic. Because
that's what I do. First off, Free Palestine. That's what I do. I start with good segues. You know what I'm saying?
But you said Iron Man and you said T'Challa, both who are known in the comic book world. Well, T'Challa is actually richer, but they are billionaires or above in the comic book world. Right. And the story we're going to talk about, Mr. Christian Keys, they said he was messed with someone who is a billionaire.
We have the vibranium.
So you're saying that Tony Stark definitely has sexual assault charges? Okay,
he could.
I can see it.
He could.
I can see it. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
He definitely looks like he gets handsy, especially after a few cocktails.
What? Speaking of the Grinch, the Grinch disappeared.
Someone stole the Grinch.
That's messed up.
What? Okay. I'm a little bit.
Imagine if that was the sequel. The Grinch stole Christmas and then someone stole off on him.
What you saying, John?
I gotta figure out what we talking about. A little something.
You didn't hear about this story about Christian Keys, one of Tyler Perry's most accomplished actors, if that's a phrase you can really say, accomplished?
Yeah, I guess you say like that's a
He's not. But I mean, hey, he's making millions.
Yeah,
we're not, but it's okay. We're not too far behind.
I hope he is. I'm not sure if he is making millions or not.
But I actually don't believe it was Tony Stark.
You're not making millions if you still got to work for Tyler Perry.
Fondling. I think it was some TP for your bunghole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Beavis and Butthead, taking it back there a little bit to the 90s.
Right.
Nostalgia there.
That's right, but I believe that it was the other TP for his bunghole.
I don't want to get it. Oh, I guess we got to. That's the topic for today. Christian Keys, I don't really follow this guy like that because I don't really watch a whole lot of Tyler Perry movies, but I know of them because I've been forced to watch them. And he made Alive, and he talked about that there is first of all, he said he's going to be transparent. I'm going to play the video. He said he want to be transparent and talk about what happened to him in Hollywood. Somebody sexually assaulted him, tried to touch him, do some stuff in his bunghole, if you will. And
for your bunghole?
Yeah, basically. And he said it was someone well-known, someone's in the billionaire club. It's going to break the hearts once he tells people who it is. But he used that word transparent, but he never said who it was. So he just said, yeah.
Does he drop clues for the mystery wagon?
Pretty much. I mean, he left it up in the air like the end of a Dallas episode. Like
let me see this. Let me see this clip.
Breadcrumbs.
Run that clip. Let me run that clip. Let me see that.
DJ,
Yeah, I'm rolling the clip. Let me find it right quick. And by the evidence you hear, I want y'all to try to see if y'all can figure out who it is. I mean, I have my clues, but let's see what y'all got.
It was Diddy.
Right, let's see this
It was
video.
Diddy, and we were just
There
talking about him
are
last week.
people that will and have and will continue to, unfortunately, offer these things. And some of them are your heroes. Some of them are people who you're like, oh yeah, such and such is amazing, and he does this and he does that. Yeah, but he also does this and that. At some point soon, it's gonna have to come out. I've kept one of these on me since 05. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once the sexual harassment started, I was like, well, I got to protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police, because sexual harassment is a crime. Attempted sexual assault is a felony. And Tams, you literally just asked, why do we as Black people have to deal with that? But sometimes it's our own people. Sometimes it's our own heroes. Sometimes it's the very people we deify. And we look up like, oh, they're doing so much, they're doing so much. No, they're also doing this. And my only reservation about naming the people, there was directors along the way like, hey, you read for this, that, and the other. You want to come back up to the apartment? I'm like, nah, I'm good. You got my headshot, my resume, and I'm good. If I can handle that or not. I can kill that, but I don't need to come up to your apartment. We already had the audition. There's other people that I want to say everything, and my brother was like, nah, not yet. I want to tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, man.
I'm sorry. That was a little.
Sounds like a lot of football.
Yeah.
I don't want to call him a liar, because these things very well could have happened to him. I will not discredit his victim story or his survivor story. But that's all this sounds like is I want to cash in on the Me Too. I want to cash in on being a survivor of what's going on of Time's Up in Hollywood, because I don't know this. I don't watch Tyler Perry films, but
okay,
I've been told that he does way more than Tyler Perry movies. Still, unbeknownst to me, because unbeknownst to me, because I don't see him in much. So I hate to say it, but yeah, because you're a grown ass man, but you won't say a name about it. It makes me feel as though you're doing this for attention. Because what do you want to happen? You're not going to try to take this person to court. What you're trying to do is build support in the court of public opinion for a mystery figure.
He wants clout. He wants clout. That's all it is. He
It's
wanna
a
he
weird
wanna
way
be in the
because
Me
I'm sorry.
Too.
Go ahead.
He wanna be part of this whole, I'm the victim situation. And I mean, I'm not gonna discredit because it does happen to guys, and
Mhm.
it's just not reported enough. Because of course, if you act on something, you might seem like you a bitch, right? You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So of course, in this situation, it's a dude. Now, getting out my Scooby Doo mystery rat wagon
We're going,
supply kit.
baby.
There you go. And we will debunk this situation. But he said in one point in the video, he said, in Tams, I told Tams. Who is Tams? Pamela Mans, maybe?
What up, man?
He jumping there. What up, Tim?
That's the
What
thing.
up?
You'll say that name. You'll
What up?
mention that name, but you
You'll
won't
mention
mention the
that name,
name of
but you
your
won't
review.
mention the person. Now, I'm going to be honest because as big as he is, I'm not going to say yay or I ain't going to say nay, but there has been some kind of yacht about it. I'm going to be real with you. Only thing that man has ever really truly been in are TP for your bunghole movies,
Mm.
Tyler Perry movies.
Mm.
Now
You know, right.
I ain't gonna convict the man yet, but if you look at it, that's what it looked like. That's what it looks like he's trying to say. It's your boy TP. Now, granted, I mean, I even seen a show if my mom's watching. It's a show about a cult, right?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You know what
Ruthless.
I'm talking about?
I don't watch it. I've heard about it, and I honestly, right there, when I heard
Bruh,
about the show, I was like, Tyler Perry is sick. This is what he
I
needs to
watched
do.
the episode. I watched the episode with my mom's, and she was like, "Oh, it's a good show." My mom is the type of person to watch anything and think it's good. She just loves everything just
Watch
about. She's
Yellowstone.
good. She just has that heart. But I watched it in the episode I came in on. The girl was drugged. She was trying to get back. Like I'm watching the preview clips, just the intro of it. Girl's drugged. She's trying to get back to the cult so that they can have, they can do the thing with her and everything. And then you have a cult leader that looks like my man Prince, which I really didn't like. Um,
Mm.
that is
R.I.P. Prince.
giving it to the men and telling the women, if you lay with them, all of them, then you will get me. Really though? That's it. That's it.
That's sick as shit. For Tyler Perry to be a
Bro, that's it.
God-fearing man, to want to sprinkle Jesus Christ in every damn play, for that to be the show that you put on national syndicated television and adapt a new narrative for it on a weekly basis, that's sick. But that's
Every
about
week.
Tyler Perry.
I haven't
Now,
seen
for him,
What
as
show y'all talking about?
Ruthless.
Ruthless.
Excuse me.
So,
Tyler Perry BET presents Tyler Perry presents Ruthless.
Ruthless.
I haven't
That
seen
show,
this.
bruh. Woo! It's something.
But
I'm gonna do some
to that
research
credit
on
of the show Ruthless, I don't know what Christian Kies has been in, but if he's been in anything that Kies,
A lot of the Tyler Perry plays, a lot of
has
the
he ever
earlier-
been in any of these productions where he is a victim of sexual assault, or like basically, I say all this to say these people have fun pretending play. Tyler Perry is literally sells drama or black poverty and drama as entertainment. He sells abuse. He sells drug addiction. He sells child abduction. He sells murder and like dropping kids out of a window. Michael Ealy, goddamn.
It wasn't the kid. It was the puppy.
movie.
It was the puppy. He dropped the puppy. He
For
threatened
Color
to drop
Girls.
He
You
dropped
talking about For Color
children out
Girls?
of a window.
You talking about For Color Girls?
Mm-hmm.
No. It was,
I know he
it
did
was,
not create that, but he did bring the film to life.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was For Color Girls. Right.
But that's the thing you want to bring to life. That's the film.
Right.
That's the one you want to give Janet Jackson AIDS. Ill. And again, I say all this to say we hoist these things up there, and we're going to continue to make that man a billionaire. And we don't even know if it's him that he's talking about. We're
condemning
continue
him.
to
It may not
endorse
be him. You
It
condemning
may
him
not even be him.
person already.
But this is the movies that we've seen him in.
Yeah, well, let's just throw out a little bit of evidence here. You know,
Okay.
that we don't have that many black billionaires. So
Nope.
we got a list. We got 9 of them at least. American
Okay.
black billionaires. So let's go down the list. You got Robert Smith,
See, what
who
the
deals
fuck?
in finance. He's
Okay.
I doubt
he's worth $8 billion. You
Doubt
got David Stewart, who's information technology. He's worth $6 billion. So he's not. They're not in entertainment.
Doubt
You got Jay-Z, who's $2.5 billionaire. That's entertainment.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
This one default kind of gets her out of there. Oprah, but she's a woman. He's talking about as a guy, so that throws her out of there.
Yeah.
You got one that would be a total shock. That would be the biggest shock of the century if it was him. Michael Jordan. He's worth $2 billion. That would be crazy if that was him.
I wouldn't.
He's
I
not
wouldn't.
necessary.
I wouldn't.
We don't know though. We don't know. I don't know him.
No, Michael Jordan
I'm
like
not
young bitches.
condemning
So we
him
already
being
know
like
that's
that.
not even the, you know.
Yeah, that ain't
he
even
like
a
young,
game.
not black bitches.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know this guy, Alex Karp. He deals with
I don't
information
know.
technology, worth $1.3 billion.
Nope.
Tiger Woods, worth $1.1 billion.
Maybe.
None of these make none of these make sense in the realm.
Why Tiger Woods'
why
baby?
Well, you know what? No, because he likes little Asian
but
women.
we know he
He
likes ugly white women.
There you go. And little Asian women.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
Daddy like little Asian women. He like ugly white bitches.
So
Okay, so we're gonna take Tiger out
Him
of
and
that.
Dave Chappelle. Tiger Woods' daddy and Dave Chappelle like Asian women.
Like Asian women.
So he wouldn't mess with him because he's black. All right, got you.
Yeah.
All right. You got
Little
LeBron
ugly
James,
white girl.
who's a newly.
Now, LeBron James, actually, I could believe more because LeBron James also has a footing in the entertainment industry as it pertains to making films. His documentary, More Than a Game, Space Jam 2, he was an executive producer on it. I want to say he's produced some other basketball-related ass movies and shit. And Billionaire. And we wouldn't expect it. I don't think, but see, it would have to make sense of how are LeBron and Christian in the same room? How do they get in the same room?
Right.
Like Jay-Z
also audition for
does movie production.
Yeah.
He's got the Book of Clarence coming out in January. So Jay-Z definitely does cast like Jay-Z is a role giver.
But he is not.
Anyone else on the list?
Once again, Jay-Z likes big booty black girls like Beyonce.
Now you say that, but
hold up.
Hip Hop Rumor's been talking for decades, and they've been saying that Sean Carter is a little light in the low.
I can see that. I can see that. His wrist broke. Click, click. Something broke.
I can't remember the name of the fucking white man that didn't need to hang out with, that managed.
But once again, why would Jay-Z and this man be in the same room?
Because Jay-Z is a film producer. He has a production company, and this man is an actor looking to be in the up and coming hot films. Jay-Z
but he don't
has movies
fit
coming
the
out.
role. He don't fit the role. He don't.
How does he not fit the role?
I'm just saying.
Caliber wise, I get what you're saying. He does caliber wise, he does not fit the room. But that's why he could be easily lured into a different room where you gotta. You sure this going? I'm gonna get the part right. You're not gonna tell nobody about this, right?
I'm gonna get that role right.
Trace.
Y'all seen Boondock? You seen Boondock? The episode paused.
Yeah.
And my man's Magruder almost got sued about that.
Yeah, they banned that episode. It's hard to even find a full episode.
Tyler Perry came out and said he did not sue the Boondocks about that. He said that that's a lie. He said that he ain't suing, he ain't care, he ain't
sue him, but they said he had some influence in having it taken off air.
Yeah.
Now that I could believe, and that I would never expect him to admit.
Yeah, because the same people, I think the production company they're under, they were going to go with the person that makes some more money versus the Boondocks at that time. So,
they would have been going for. Honestly, it wouldn't have made sense because they would have been suing their parent company, Viacom CBS, because that's who Cartoon Network.
Right. So,
ain't nobody getting money.
That being said, it was LeBron James, then Well, yeah, Tyler Perry's the last one on this list of
And
billionaires.
I believe that the last individual on the list could be the culprit.
Did he say black
I'm
man?
just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Well, here's the elephant in the room with this one. Kind of what John was saying earlier. It's a little bit different for women. Because remember, we were talking about Cassie last time and her selling that money, signed the NDA, couldn't talk about it no more. And then she came to the media, made this whole speech as I'm doing this for women and protecting women. And I don't want this to happen to another woman, but then you do this and sell out and you leave the door of opportunity for if Diddy did this stuff for it to happen to another woman. Same thing with Christian Keys. A little bit different for guys because women can be incapacitated by another guy just simply because they're weak. This guy, if you're telling me a guy proposed to have sex with you, he touched you, grabbed on your butt, and you said, and you just took it for a role in a movie, which, when you start doing Hollywood movies, you ain't getting no big role to begin with. You're going to get small roles. So that means you suffered in your career over and over for years to get to a certain position. Now, you ain't no big time actor yet. You still on the mid card right now. But that means you were willing to humiliate yourself for pay. And this is why I called this show Money Over Morals, because you were willing to forsake all your morals for a paycheck. And you could have fought back if you wanted to. Why would you talking about this happened? I think he said at least 10 years ago. You held on. So that means you let this happen to you and other men and possibly other women.
Possibly brought men to this person to have it done. Possibly led more cattle to the slaughter, so to say.
Man, it could have happened to kids. We don't know.
Look,
if somebody's willing
to do
it,
I'm going to get him off the butt. He probably said, I'm going to get him off the butt by bringing somebody else to him.
But it is exactly for yes, it's exactly for the reason that you said. With men, it's we're less likely to understand, and actually, we're less likely to understand the fact that you folded on a principle that you are so that we as men are prided on. We are prided on our masculinity. We're prided on standing up for ourselves, and we're prided on not being victims of the things that typically a woman would be a victim of. So you call into question, well, why was this able to happen for so long? Now I get it. As a black man, just like Terry Crews was saying, you don't want to immediately physically overpower every situation because they have a nasty way of making us out to be the aggressor in situations where we're simply defending ourselves.
Right way,
but you're still culpable to letting it happen. Like your moral should have been, if this is what it takes for me to get in this movie, I don't want to be in this movie.
Well, I would ask this one question then of Terry Crews, if I could, and Christian Keys. How can you sit there and if a black woman come and say, we need y'all black men to protect us, you can't protect yourself. How you going to protect a black woman?
Oh, he's giving up trying to be a protector for black women.
Hold on. Let's just say the scenario, there was a producer that touched on her. You're going to say, well, don't flip out. Wait 10 years and get all this evidence. You keep getting felt up on. You forget all your morals. Don't act out because you're black, because you know how they're going to look at black women. Just forget about it. That's not protecting. So now but I don't think they would say that for that situation. Maybe he would. And if he would, that's a bitch ass nigga for that.
I mean, you already said it right. Like a lot of actors, and it sucks to say it, primarily our black actors, because they already don't want us in the industry because we're black. They already don't want us in that space. So they're more so willing. When I say they, I mean the Academy. I mean the film production companies. I mean the people who sign the checks at Warner Brothers, the people who sign the checks at Miramax and Disney and Viacom CBS, the people who give out the roles, the showrunners, not even the showrunners, the people who hire the showrunners, literally just the people who fund the things. It's if y'all have ever, and I know most of us, probably all of us here, have seen the Squid Games. It's literally getting to a point of wealth to where the only thing that is amusing and entertaining is the real life struggles of people, because you have so much wealth and influence that you can do great good with it, like empower someone to create beautiful artwork or make a great movie that stands the test of time. And also, while you're doing that, you can make a lot of money. You can screw people out of the rights to the things that they create. And not only that, check this out, put on my nose for it. You could probably screw them because people will do anything to get out of these situations that all of our celebrities are always plucked from. It's very, like, think about it. We have very few celebrities that started from being rich kids. Like the Kardashians and shit, that's anomalies. Back in the day, Hollywood, like back in the early times of Hollywood when they were calling it Tinseltown, they went out and picked people to specifically be in this movie because we have an image we're trying to sell. We have propaganda that we're trying to sell. We want people to sign up for the war because it's World War II. We want people to be against the war or for the war in Vietnam because it's the fucking 70s. We want people to, I don't know, think black people are terrible. So let's make a birth of a nation. And with our black celebrities, we see it time and time again with our women. There's colorism. They're either forced to be the mammy, the Jezebel, or the matriarch that no one loves. That's always disrespected. It's never a beloved. It's a beloved matriarch, but think Katherine Jackson, matriarch, but look at all the pain and trauma she had to bear. Basically, our black women are always given roles where they either have to be the possession, or they're only given credit for their roles when they are either the possession, like Halle Berry in Swordfish when she showed her titties, or Halle Berry in Monsters fucked by that white man.
That was
or
real.
When they're
that was
beaten,
real.
broken, and literally crying and in tears. And as black men, it goes all the way back to buck breaking. They don't want one of us to become too influential of a figure to our community. So behind closed doors, they look for ways to emasculate us. They look for ways to humiliate us so that we bring back toxic masculinity to our neighborhoods and to our homes. Because after a man does that to another man, sex is a very energy exchanging thing. There's dominance and there's submissive. There are no two dominants during sex, especially when it's man on man. One of us taking this dick, god damn it. And then even more
don't get my man canceled. Don't get him taken out. Don't get him taken off.
Hey, look, it's Mr. Nasty Time. It's been Mr. Nasty Time since Christian.
Yeah, boy.
Because we buckle on our morals. We literally say, okay, fine. Like our women are completely fine with being sexual objects for the paycheck. Our men are completely fine with being thugs, criminals, killers, and behind closed doors, the playthings of these rich white elite.
Well, it is. Let me say this. And I was speaking about this earlier. Myself and my wife, we were talking about this earlier. It's just what is. It's sad, but it's what society has started to program people to become. Everything that people see, everything they hear, they start to want to become. The kids are starting to want to become this. This is why the dating pool is the way that the dating pool is, because now you got so many girls ready to be thoughts out here because it's cool, because it's in rap music, because Sexy Red says on her bucket list is to smash a bunch of dudes.
Oh, and Rolling Stone says she gets the song of the year, by the way, too. Just to
now, see, with that, how do we also take serious when we're yelling about sexual assault?
There you go.
It's a very contradicting state that we are in. We want to be hypersexualized, but we also want sexual assault to be taken seriously.
There you go. They want it when they want it, but they don't want it.
It can't be both ways.
They don't mind selling us the idea of being able to fuck on a bunch of different men of their choosing. But in reality, behind closed doors, you're fucking a whole bunch of men that you don't want to, sometimes when you don't want to get to these certain places in your career. And it breaks our heart to say, yeah, the men too, because I truly believe that the United States of America is just the new Roman Empire. And the main thing about Rome is that them motherfucking men loved men.
Yep.
Beautiful men.
That's where wrestling came from.
More than women. Women was better than things.
Yep. They started that ancient Roman wrestling, and And
Yep, Greco-Roman wrestling, naked.
And then next
That's
thing you
actually
know,
how
one
the
of them,
Olympics started.
yep, and one of them slipped. Oops, it fell in.
They did the whole
right.
Olympic Games completely in the nude.
Just gonna leave
Like,
it there.
check this shit out. In ancient Greece, in ancient Olympia, when they first started the Olympics, only men were allowed to show up. They were to perform all of their athletic activity not only naked, but oiled the fuck up. Because the sweat and the essence of athletes was said to be the closest a human could become to being divine. That's why we always praise people that run fast, jump high, that can throw shit. Like that's why we're in a place of making our athletes and the people that inspire us through music our leaders. But they would take the dripping oil and sweat from these motherfuckers, and they would drink it and drink some of it and then burn some of it to appease to Zeus, because it was all in the name of Jesus.
All right, let's get back on the topic right quick. Christian Keys. So, a lot of people in the comments, mostly seems like women. Of course, they was standing up for him, and there was a few guys that was like, why didn't you come out with this years ago? Why didn't you stand up against the perpetrator that did this against you? And women like, and this is why guys don't come out if someone sexually assaults them. This is why they stay in silence.
But he didn't come out.
That puts you on the. You're right. But to me, this puts you in the same position as a woman. If you're supposed to be weak like this, like of course stuff happens to you. I understand if you were a child and this happened to you, but again, how can you be in a position where the woman looks at you and say, you're supposed to be my protector, but you can't even protect yourself? How's black women going to look at us and say, there is no men out here to protect us? Why?
And that's the part of what Black Hollywood is telling.
You told us to be emotional like you. You told us to we can be in our feelings just like you. And now we're just like you. We're not men anymore. So that's why you ain't got men out here like you want to have to protect you. And that's why you have to act like us.
And blind support, I'm gonna be honest, blind support is stupid, because you don't know any of the facts behind what this person is saying. You're just reacting to it based upon your emotions, because I've been through that, or I know someone who's been through that, or it's my worst fear to go through that, so I would hate to have to go. But you don't know if they actually went through that, and you don't know the circumstances of which that led to them going through that, because a lot of these things, especially when it comes to Hollywood and the furthering of a career, are self-inflicted. It kills me when these artists get sexually assaulted and they come out and want to speak about it, and they want to say, oh, this happens so much, y'all wouldn't even, why are y'all so silent when other artists are saying it? Like, how come we've had to say it so many times on so many different occasions from so many different people if it's allegedly the same people who out here have been doing the same shit? Diddy been out here touching little boys, touching little girls, touching everybody who don't love it for 30 fucking years. But when someone speaks out about Diddy, we look at them like, ain't nobody else saying nothing. And nobody else says nothing. And maybe some other people chime in and say something, but nothing happens. I mean, now something has happened, but guess why? Because the person speaking is a non-black woman that America cares about.
There you go.
Tim, we ain't got you to speak on it yet, man. Let's get you to speak on it, man.
Ring the bell, bro. Ring that bell.
First of all, hey, I just want to say what's up with y'all, man. I've been struggling trying to even get on.
Oh, we good. We ain't Carolina Panthers fans, and we're not,
keep struggling.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you had to.
Man, I was actually just trying to catch on what y'all was talking about. If you don't mind, be real. What is it again you was talking about? Y'all talking about?
Christian Keys, the guy that came out, I think last week, had a video about a Hollywood bigwig, supposedly a billionaire, that sexually assaulted him during his career. He does a lot of Tyler Perry films. He's very light skinned. He's acting very light skinned too.
Wow.
And this soliloquy he went on about someone messed with him during his career, but he never said the person's name. But he said it's gonna break a lot of people's hearts when he comes out with it, or if he ever does come out with it. But we're mostly saying, why did it take you so long to even say something, and you still didn't say the person's name? Like
Man.
this might help you recognize this the guy right here in the
Oh,
photo.
okay.
It's that guy.
Okay.
Very light skinned.
Yeah.
Actions. And I'm light
This
skinned.
is
I'm
probably
saying,
this image is probably exactly what happened.
I remember his face, but man, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. It seemed like I just read today something about TD Jakes. Man, it just seemed like a lot of stuff is just exposure. It's just a lot of stuff just getting exposed right now. Now they say allegations. They don't know, because I think what the Diddy parties or whatever. Yeah, but not going back to this, man. I mean, I'm agreeing with what y'all saying, man. It's like, they say, they want men to come out and, bring out their feelings, but what I'm saying, the moment they do, it's like, and we all see it. Most time black men, especially in entertainment, express their feelings. It becomes a meme, or they get joked on, or it's not being taken very seriously. So, vice versa, and nothing against women, but they take it very seriously. I just seen Tahaji Henson was talking about how she's feel like she about to retire because what I'm saying, they don't get paid well enough in the black community. So
too.
Just to put
okay.
in face and she not getting paid high. That's a damn shame.
But
Is hell.
There's another question for you, Tim.
Yeah.
Where was I about to go with this? Okay. Do you think that Christian Keys, given the information you know now, there's a lot of people, women in the comments saying guys shouldn't be mad at him for taking his time for coming out and saying this is why men, if they are sexually assaulted or attacked, wait so long to come out, because people like us say you should have just fought back or said something years ago. Do you agree with that sentiment, or do you think if somebody touched him like that, the day it happened, the week it happened, he should have done something right then and there, or just left the industry or whatever? Do you think he should have just continued to work through it for years and wait for it to come out when he felt like it?
Man, me personally, man, I'll be real with you. I really can't really, what I'm saying? It's hard to say, what you do or whatnot until you in somebody's shoes. But me personally, I would have known the type of person I am, I would have like jump on it right then, because it's like
a man squeeze your butt.
Yeah, man.
What you doing?
Oh, I mean, we throwing hands.
Hey yo,
we throwing hands.
A man
we boxing.
A man said, "There's a meeting in my bedroom, and please don't be late so you can get this roll."
Nah, we boxing, bro.
I ain't boxing. I ain't boxing. I'm not boxing with you.
You're not boxing.
Ironically, this isn't a black and white
you going
matter.
down. No, you going down. This is about to be a problem. You ain't gonna be breathing properly.
Oh, okay. I see what you coming from.
That's the thing. Like we got to think about it differently as black men, because one, we're in a more progressive time frame where think about this: the Me Too movement, not only this, the LGBT community is stronger as a community than the whole of black people in America.
Yeah.
They're more cohesive as a community. They get more done. They command more respect. When you speak out against them, things happen to your career that affects you.
But Lord Trent, as I speak on this, I'm gonna let you know why, and I'm gonna let you know why I believe that it is the way that it is. Fact, the LGBT community, although they were shunned and hated, they never were pressed against each other. From the beginning of slavery, we were always pressed against each other, from the house NIGGA to the field NIGGA. We was always pressed against each other. So whatever you were taught, you like a computer. Your parents passed that down from their grandparents and their grandparents and their grandparents. So you were always that crab in a barrel until you break it. The LGBTQ were always taught to stick together. be cohesive. We're gonna get more done. The
Because
black community
their
was.
assault wasn't directly. There was no direct assault plan for gays. They could take gays or leave them. And honestly, I want to say American society, especially high society, got to a point where they had to accept them because, like I just said, America is based upon ancient Rome and ancient Greece. So a lot of them are gay, but it's something, that's kept underneath the closet. It's in the closet. It's back there. I only do it when I do drugs. Like that's Jewish men love saying, I only get a little gay when I do drugs, but you're always doing drugs because you have to have money. Like,
That's why they try to legalize pedophilia.
That's crazy.
That's why they try to legalize pedophilia, just like the gay thing. Just like with them saying the gay is in your blood.
From their parents and making them famous.
Yep.
Giving them access to things they should like. But to round all this back, I think he's not wrong. I mean, you can never tell someone when they should come forward with an event of trauma.
Or how.
But I lose respect for you as a man and as a person that is claiming to be a survivor because you chose to come to social media instead of going to the authorities. Even if you waited 10 years, why are you going to social media about this? You want to hashtag your survivor story so that you could possibly get an interview on Oprah, so that you could possibly get a Breakfast Club interview, so that you could and I honestly think that this is the wave that black men in Hollywood have to take in order, because it's not only is the LGBTQ community up right now, women are up right now. And both of those people literally make money and sell products off of being survivors of shit that men in power have done to them. As the color purple is about to drop this fucking month.
You know what? The reason why he probably did this probably doesn't have anything to do with him being sexually assaulted. Maybe about 20%, because of the things you just mentioned. Women, LGBT community is going to come out in arms to help this guy up. It's probably the same reason why Jussie Smollett did the thing he did.
I was just thinking about that.
I'm the gay Tupac.
His career was starting to flounder. It wasn't. He picked up a little bit on Empire, but it wasn't quite what Terrence Howard.
He literally did that because he had an album coming out.
But it
that was his promo.
He wasn't going to do no number.
He took the survivor. Yes, you're right. He took the survivor route. He took the look at what I've been through route in order to backdoor promote his work outside of Empire.
He tried to appeal. Easy for him to appeal to the gays. So that was. I mean, he already had that. Then, he appealed to women. He tried to appeal to the entertainment industry. He tried to appeal to black men in particular because he called himself the gay Tupac, I remember.
And that was an insult.
Yeah, it was an insult. Yeah, he called himself the gay. He went to this concert after those assault allegations came out. And he was telling but they can't stop me because I'm the gay Tupac. Come
on, bro.
Then he used politics with the whole Trump movement and going against black people with stuff like that. He used all these elements to push himself up. And I feel like maybe this is the same thing with Christian Keys, because it can't be just about justice. Because like LT said, why did you have to make a whole video? Just go to the police. Go to the police, because if you ain't gonna say the name, what are you doing? Just go to the police. You say you got the evidence. Just go to the police and sign.
Talking about when you drop it, like it's some shit you've been working on in the studio. Like
it is.
I think he does have an album coming out, if I'm not mistaken.
Got an album.
He made music too.
What was his last project?
I don't know, but supposedly
I don't even know when his last movie was.
Honestly, never mind about that. Oh, Drake looking at
Yep, he's saying. My wife told me the other day, she was like, "Oh yeah, he's saying." They were talking about it on DL Hughley. Actually,
he's trying to make sure he can work for the next 5 years or whatever the fuck. Because it is very pointless to want to call somebody out in the industry, but do so in a subliminal enough way to where you can keep your career intact. You're obviously not ready to sacrifice the thing you truly want, which is an advanced acting career.
Maybe this is another way to blackmail. Just like, hey, I got the goods on you. The person that did it to him knows he's about to tell on. Like old girl from What's Happening, the sister. I'm gonna tell mama what you did. Okay. And Roger was like, no, don't tell. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just don't tell mama.
That could have
Seems
been
like
done
that's the type
privately
of
though.
situation.
That could have just been a subpoena from your lawyer, because that's more effective. Like again, unless it's someone that we all know and love, and hurting their reputation would do more damage to them than going after them financially, which lets me know that you're not really dealing with a billionaire then, because why would you even waste time on social media when a lawyer is a guaranteed way to get this person to sit down
But
and
see,
want to settle out of court as quietly as possible?
he could want to do. He want to blackmail. He wants to boost his
That's what
career.
it
He wants
sounds
to
like.
blackmail. He wants to boost his career. He wants to blackmail this person, and this person will still keep him in mind for other roles. Why? Because I got that pen, and if you don't, I'm gonna show it. So what
For
my
the kind
saying
of
is
things
the
that
best.
he made it seem
So
like
what
he
my
was,
acting is.
just
Nah,
like
I'm
with
gonna
Diddy.
show it.
I'm sorry, just let me get this over. Just like with Diddy, how he had tapes and recordings of Cassie. I'm pretty sure the things that Christian Keys says he was made to do are of such a humiliating nature that it was more beneficial to him to keep these things to himself, because that's why he kept them to himself for 10 years. That's why he kept them to himself for so long, because you cared
Yeah.
more about your reputation and your public image than to let people know that you were a victim of sexual assault. So if
Well,
I'm the person that sexually assaulted you, all you threatening me with is a guessing game on the internet, I could literally make you disappear.
well, let me throw one thing in his defense, but then I'll take it back. He did say he signed the NDA, but he didn't have to sign the NDA. He didn't have to be in the industry. If he did sign the NDA, why don't you turn over the evidence and you don't have to make a video about it. Just turn over the
Because
evidence.
in court, you have nothing because you signed an NDA, and that's why
No,
they pick up their
he said
phones.
that. No, but he said that in the video. He said, regardless if you sign an NDA, you can still turn over evidence to show that,
But it won't hold up in court.
No,
It won't
he
hold
said
up.
it will open court. Because I think,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, this is what I've heard. I don't know how true it is. I think Cassie, I've been hearing that that's what she's doing now. She is showing footage of stuff and showing text and all this other kind of stuff.
But she on a roll.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
she can't verbally say it, from what I understand. But she can turn over evidence.
Mm.
Honestly, I'm not
No,
gonna call
that's
nobody a
what I've
victim if
heard.
they sign this shit. Like, if you signed an NDA, that means that you were about to engage into activities that this person did not want you to talk about. You had the decision right there, and I guarantee you, nobody reads all through their fucking contract, because if you had an
No.
NDA that stopped you from talking about being sexually abused, like if that's your reason for you didn't say this for years because you signed an NDA, that was in the NDA. Your lawyer didn't read that to you. You didn't have your people look over that part, or you said, "How much are they offering? I don't give a fuck. Sign it."
Mm-mm.
Oh no,
It's a
what
wicked industry, bro.
it
It's a
is.
wicked industry. It's
You
crazy.
find
And
that
then
out
it's
more and more as time goes
and
by, how wicked this industry is.
yeah, and it's like,
Highly
bro,
weird.
But
Highly
you,
yeah,
weird.
but you know
do it
what you
is
also find out though? You find out how wicked the people going in the industry too, because
Yeah.
crazy.
they're willing to do anything to be famous.
It's literally the
Somebody
oldest adage of selling your soul.
Somebody said a
Exactly right.
long time ago, I can't remember which artist said it, it was a rapper. He said, y'all crazy. Y'all don't realize money don't change a person.
You're right.
Money makes you exactly who you are. See, when you
Emotion.
broke, you can't be that individual because people won't accept you. But when
Mm.
you got that paper, everybody don't
Mhm.
care about how much of an asshole you want to be
Yeah.
or how much an asshole you're gonna be to them.
You'll never be
Why?
checked
Because
because everyone will
long
fall in line for you.
exercise.
Yeah. It multiplies who you are.
And I have absolutely nothing against Kevin Hart. Like the guy. But look at how on one of his reality series for Netflix, he was on there, and look at how he was drinking, he became an asshole to
Oh, I
everybody
see
on the
that.
plane,
I saw that.
including especially his trainer.
He was friend,
And
right?
They
like
got
was
in a
real
fight.
wicked. And they
Yeah.
got into a fight. And he was like, man, I made your career and I end your career. Come on, man. That's supposed to be your boy. Y'all supposed to be peoples. And you going to snap on him like that because he ain't trying to kiss your ass? Man,
that was crazy. I seen that.
I'd be like, dude, land this plane. I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Okay, I'm jumping off.
Move before I smack the taste out your mouth.
Hey, John, I thought you was about to talk about the black dress. I was say, oh, I seen
Which
that
black
too.
dress? Man,
seen
I
it.
ain't black dress
I
yet.
mean, not the black dress, but like black man went like they talking about the Hollywood thing,
Oh,
like
the
black man.
dress.
Oh,
Nah, man, I'm not a big fan of that either.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we should, man.
And the scenes of dudes doing certain things
Crazy.
from oral to whatever, and it looked like you actually doing it, to kissing another dude, and you supposed to be straight. You see what I'm saying? You straight, but just look like you really kissed that dude. Bruh, I
That's
got
it.
asked that question before. If
Mhm.
you were given $1 million role to do all this stuff in a movie with another guy, would you do it? Hell no.
No.
I got my
Well,
integrity.
let me ask this then, because what do you think about Flip Wilson? He did it back in the day. Richard Pryor did it back in the day. Martin, famous for doing it on the Martin show.
You talking about the dress?
Yeah, just dress. Big Mama's house.
Martin went crazy on the highway one day.
You know,
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall, Eddie Murphy.
They've been calling Arsenio gay for years. They've been calling him and Eddie gay together.
I'm sure that. Are y'all cool with those comedians? Are y'all cool with those comedians dressing up in dresses? Is it for the art, or do you think that is a ritual?
I believe it's a ritual. I believe it's a ritual. It's a ritual. Now, I'm not gonna knock certain films. If they good, they good. I'm not gonna knock you for it. But at the same token, I'm not gonna come off and be like, dude, you I mean, like, I know my integrity and I know who I am as a person. I can't judge for another man's integrity and what he would and would not do. You see what I'm saying? That's you. And what you would sell your soul for, everybody has a different price of what they would sell a soul for. What you would sell your soul for, whether your soul is priceless or whether your soul is a penny. I'm not that person. So I can't just, you ain't gonna get me in no dress. You ain't gonna get me in no kissing scene with no other dude. Or anything to that nature, or no dude. I just watched a TV show yesterday on Netflix. Dude was seeming like he the most serious, badass dude you ever seen, killer and everything, and then he gay.
Yeah, a lot of niggas in jail. Like, you just got a lot of motherfuckers in jail.
Man, I just look at it like you don't really see them. To me, I look at it like it's targeting the black man, like the black actors, because you don't see any other race as consistent as top actors or comedians wearing dresses. You know what I mean?
They don't have to. They don't have to. And here's the thing about our cultures and societies. White men can go do Brokeback Mountain because they know that they're going to be given the Academy Award. So they're going to receive Academy validation for the make pretend that they just played, and they'll still be accepted by their community. Women will still, like white women will still find Jared Leto, and was it Jared Leto? No, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal and R.I.P. Ledger. They'll still find them attractive. They'll just see the art and the beauty in it. Now, from our ancestral level, not to say that we as Black people haven't progressed to a point to where we accept homosexuality, but ancestrally in Africa, definitely they did not play that shit. It did not go down that way. And when it did, there were consequences. Shit, there might still be consequences for being gay in some parts of Africa right now.
There's a lot of It's still consequences. A lot of it. Death is a lot of consequences.
And with our community, we don't have the mindset of still being able to see our men as masculine after we see them kiss a man or put on a dress. Because even to this day, my mama loves to call Eddie Murphy gay. Every time he pop up on the screen, Eddie Murphy look gay tail. She loves Nutty Professor. She laughed at Norbit. Clumps is her shit. Like she love that shit. She love Big Mama House. But she always say, Eddie Murphy, little ugly gay tail. I never thought he was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
My mom has
My
a big crush
grandmother
on Blair
same
Underwood.
way.
That's her guy. But again, she loves men like Blair Underwood because even though he's been a definite abuser in some films,
A
for
lot.
some fucked up reason, we still see that as a masculine trait. So many women love quoting Mister from again The Color Fucking Purple. Like we aren't able to see our men as masculine after they put on that dress or after we see them participate in the gay role. So that's why I don't like those films because there are actors who have adamantly said, "No, I love Denzel Washington because not only did he say you're never gonna put me in a dress, you never gonna have me kissing a man, and not only that, I'm not about to kiss no white women on film."
You know what? I just had thought about it when you were talking about Color Purple because I used to like Color Purple when I was younger. You know, I thought it was a great movie. Yeah, and I got older, and then I was like, I saw a lot of women quote that movie and think that this is
like it's Friday
reality when it comes to men. Most guys are like this, a Mister everywhere. Men are just beating on us and keeping us from our family. And
it also conditions them early because they see it at such a young age. Like if you're a little boy growing up watching Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and Juice, you may be conditioned to want to be out there in those streets, kicking up dust and giving a motherfucker. If you're a little girl watching shit like Eve's Bayou and fucking The Color Purple, that's going to condition you to see men as abusive forces.
Well, check this out. Have we ever seen a movie where the roles are reversed, where it's a good guy and most of the women are bad?
There's this one, ironically, I think it's a Tyler Perry film.
It's most of the women are bad. It's like most of them. Like for colored women, where most of the guys were bad. Have we had a movie like that? Now, just one antagonist.
Movies like that are usually played as comedies. Where if everyone is bad, then they make the movie a comedy, like Girls' Night or Rough Night or some shit. If everybody has a tragic flaw that makes them a kind of quirky bit of a person, then they make it a comedy. They don't they don't just show terrible people being terrible people.
They don't just show terrible women being terrible women. You got to realize
they do that a lot. It's called Love and Hip Hop. It's called everything on Zeus.
A lot of women aspire to be like Love and Hip Hop.
Literally everything on Zeus Network.
What's that? Eva from Hell? Gabrielle Union, LL Cool J.
Deliver us from evil.
Yeah.
But the women weren't bad. It was the men that was actually trying to steal the Dandridge fund from the girls. They only wanted to marry these women so that they
Eva was somewhat bad, but that was the only one. The rest of them were good. They were trying to get rid of Eva so they could stay with their own men or whatever. But Eva
was only bad because she needed some love.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if they do, again, they play it for comedy. This woman is only bad because, but when you think about it, the sisters were bad too, because if you're a grown ass woman and you letting your sister just walk into our house motherfucking freely when I'm trying to get some booty, no. I just think those were weak women. They weren't bad women. Those were weak, immature women.
But here's the thing. If there is a bad woman in the movie, she always has a reason to be. It's because the men in her past made her that way. If you go somebody like Mr. in Color Purple, he's just inherently bad because he's a guy. And this is how men were back then and still today. They're just inherently bad. No one knew why Brian Ely is his name Brian? What's his name? Michael Ely.
Michael Ely.
Nobody knew why Michael Ely threw them kids out. He just was crazy. Nobody knew that what his backstory was. He just was crazy. And women were like, oh, yeah, but there are a lot of guys like that. They're just inherently bad who will throw kids out the window. I know somebody like that. You don't know nobody who threw no kids.
And it's like, really? You know someone who threw children out of the window and you're sitting in here watching a movie about it?
I would think that woman crazy if you're sitting in there watching a movie about somebody who threw kids out the window and you know somebody who threw kids out. Then you got the nerve to tell me, to come to me and say something like, oh, I knew a guy that did that. You and him need to be in jail.
And then they're going to be scared to let you watch the kids based off of that. I'm like, you could be like that yourself because a lot of you men are like that.
That's just
you ain't think that about the motherfucker you made the kids with. That's
exactly. That's just programming. But once again, it's that societal programming. You are what you were programmed to be
It's like
until
that
you
episode of
break
Boondocks with Uncle Ruckus and his daddy. Nigga, did I
it.
just get you wanting to be
Yeah.
shit?
Did I catch you playing, having fun? Yeah.
Nigga, did I
Got you
just
being
get you
happy.
reliving?
Uh-huh. All that. I'm just saying. Reventilago all day. But this is what it is. It's the programming. If you watch our new TV shows, like I swear, we got into a slight. We were gonna watch the movie Leave the World Behind,
I
and
saw that.
myself and my wife. Yeah, I'm very interested in that, and I want to see World War III or whatever it's called that's coming out in April. But I digress. We were watching a show just to kill time until we were getting ready to watch it. Everybody getting ready, bruh. The show was called College Hill, the BET show,
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
yeah,
and
College
they
Hill,
take the
boy.
rappers, and
hmm
all these people who are no
Yeah, they
longer
did bring it
famous,
back.
because Ray J was on there
Ray
yeah.
J,
and
Lamar
everything,
Odom, motherfucking
and two
Little
girls
Baby,
that
ex
had fake
girlfriend.
butts,
Oh yeah,
two girls that had big fake butts, and
Jada,
like
I think is her name. Jada.
this, the level of
Slim Thug.
ratchetness. Yeah,
Slim Thug and
Slim was
Mother.
the Slim was the smartest
Yeah,
and almost the dopest person that tried to reflect black people in a decent light. The rest of these people, once again, programming, were ratchet. They don't want you on there. They seen Thug in there and they thought it was just like that. What's the guy's name that just got in trouble and they just did an acronym for his name about something about God? You know, his name in his court case, he killed somebody and or shot at him, and it's a whole thing now.
Oh
Right, you
shit,
got to
damn.
check this out. What's his
Damn,
name? It's
I know
not
what
Young
that is.
Thug. I don't think it's Young
yeah. It
Thug.
is Young Thug.
Oh,
I think it
Thug.
is.
It's Young Thug.
Yeah,
Okay. And his lawyer used the word thug and broke it down and put God in it.
yeah.
Oh,
Thankful,
damn, what
humble,
was the acronym? Fucking.
thankful, humble under God or something like that.
Yeah,
And it's like you're literally playing in my fucking face. Like if I was the prosecutor, I would look at it.
There you
Really,
go. But
really,
this is
Jeffrey?
it. But this is where it is. But this is what it is. It's that programming. Come on now. We put this out there.
You
I got
on trial for murdering people. You gonna bring God into your name.
oh yeah. Gotta bring God in there.
You got your
'Cause that's
Jewish
all
lawyer
it is.
talking about God. Okay.
That's the way it's it. Where it's at. Come on now.
all right. We're gonna leave this one here. We're gonna go
Let's
into
leave.
the next subject. But before we did that, I had an important phone call I had to deal with today. Talked to a few clients, because we do this show, but we like to give therapy out to anyone who needs it.
Word.
I had a
Oh
phone
Lord.
call with a couple people today. It was supposed to be a one-on-one phone call, but it ended up turning into something a little bit bigger than that. Somehow I got video of it, probably illegal, but hey, I don't follow the rules. We don't sign NDAs over here, right?
Exactly.
Right. So let me see. Let me pull up video right quick. Oops,
We're about to have a moment.
yeah,
Let
I
me see
mean,
this.
people need
So we
help.
can drop this therapy. Let's drop it. I'm with it.
You got better help links and shit. Like,
Hell yeah.
This episode of Hostile Therapy brought to you by Better Health.
All right, here we go. Let's see what the therapy session was about here. Hello, this is Hostile Therapy with Big Red. How may I help you?
Salutations, my waffle-colored Negro.
Oh, Lord, Star King. What can I do you for, man? What kind of scam are you trying to work up now?
Well, I haven't had a great fight to promote in years, and I am ostentatiously and vociferously depressed.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Don. Well, have you tried looking into maybe doing celebrity boxing matches? I hear that's the newest thing now. Regular boxing is not exciting as it used to be.
Why, what a fantabulous and sanctimonious idea, my caution-like looking compadre.
What?
And I have just the guy to join this call.
I don't want anybody to join the call. It's supposed to be a one-on-one session. That's what hostile therapy sessions are for. Who in the world could you have join this call?
Yeah. I hate black people. I hate black children. I hate black culture, black ties, black Africa, black holes, nighttime, shadows, the darkness I see when I close my eyes.
Okay, I get it. Charleston White, you hate everything that has anything to do with black. Jeez, why in the world would you invite him to this call? Okay, I get your point. Don, you're depressed. Charleston, you're just hateful. Don, you need to do what makes you happy. And Charleston, you need to do what makes you less hateful.
And that's exactly what's happening with my next fight idea, my bodacious balding amigo. I have another celebrity I'm going to add to the fight, and he needs to hit someone because his pockets just got hit.
And who else could you be adding to this phone call, Don? I suppose to be a one-on-one session.
Hello, Red.
Oh,
I am King.
timely reference.
No, you are not. You are Johnathan Majors, remember?
You are fired.
I am Eddie King.
No, you are not any kind of king. You are Johnathan Majors, and I know you're going through a lot after you were found guilty of 1 count of reckless assault and the 3rd degree and a non-criminal charge of harassment as a violation. But you are Johnathan Majors. You are not king of any kind. You lost your job, remember?
Yeah. That funky bitch, Johnathan Majors, should have never messed with that snow bunny. After I get done with him in the ring, I'm gonna mace him, then shoot his Negra puppy and feed it to a white baby in Nebraska.
Charleston White, you can't say stuff like that. That's horrible. What is wrong with you?
That's right. You can't talk to me, Martin Luther King, like that.
I told you you are not king. You are Johnathan Majors. Don King, let's get to the point. When is this fight supposed to happen?
This fight is going to go down on January 27th, on Saturday night. I'm calling it Charleston White versus the man who ran away from the white. $69.95 only on pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. I've heard enough. Don, Charleston White, Johnathan Major, King, whatever you want to call yourself, this phone call is ended. I hope you guys have a good life, and maybe I'm not the person to help you. Get some therapy elsewhere. Goodbye. Crazy people out here. Yeah, that was the thing I had to deal with today. You know, poor Johnathan Majors has lost his career because he messed with a white woman or because he had a horrible lawyer. So that's the next subject we're going to talk about, Mr. Johnathan Majors. And in case you haven't heard, he was found guilty of basically protecting himself, for what I understand.
Good.
Pretty much.
It's like, how do you get in trouble for protecting yourself? What else was the man supposed to do?
They
In a
literally
beat him up.
Attacking him.
He was found guilty of non-criminal harassment. What's the point if it's non-criminal? Like, why did you even waste typing to type out that message? Whoever,
You know it's set up. You got to think about the scenario. They in New York.
Rhetorical questions.
They in New York, and a white woman chasing a black man in the middle of the night in New York. Don't even sound right.
People's thought would immediately be, oh my God, what did that nigger do to get that white woman so mad that she's chasing him? That would still be there. The bitch could have a gun, a knife, and a sign that says, I hate jigaboos.
Come on.
As you said, if it is a white woman chasing a black man
in New York City,
that black guy must have really pissed her off. Good for her. She's so strong.
Wow.
She's so strong.
She is a survivor. Her too.
Yeah,
We're not
that's
gonna talk
another
about the fact that this bitch lied about being strangled. Then, like, she ain't getting no charge about lying on a police document.
And then went back to his crib
And went
that
out
night.
clubbing for hours.
Crazy.
doesn't really sound like somebody who's afraid, right?
Yeah. But she's afraid.
She was told to be afraid because as a white woman, people will always believe that from you. Just like as a black man, people will always believe that you make people afraid. As a white woman, people will always believe that you were afraid. She was obviously afraid for her life, and that's why she began chasing him on foot in order to confront him about the shit that she saw in his phone that she forcibly took from him.
You know what I was told?
The defense attorney.
You know what I was told about this? They said, you know what? Ever since OJ, they would never they would never see the brighter day because of OJ.
Every black man dating a white woman, like, stop. Just stop.
It's crazy.
Stop. Yeah, it's right now at this present moment, even if she's sitting right next to you, just get up and leave.
Look at the footage right there. Look at he's just trying to, hey, get in the car, get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with you. Yeah, you saw another girl on my phone, but I don't want to mess with you anymore. I'm getting out of here. I'm going in the opposite direction, away from you, and you're following me. What am I supposed to do? Should I hit back? No, I'm trying to go in the opposite direction.
You saw that push? He pushed her off so hard. And when he pushed her, she had a severe laceration to her ankle, and she was not able to show up to work for at least 30 minutes. She was 30 minutes late to work the next day. Not because she went out drinking after this. Bitch, get off. And then she followed this man, chase this man. He really getting it. He running like old boy and Say the Last Dance at the end of the movie when he was running to get his white girl.
He's in Creed shape right here. But
maybe he's in Creed shape.
Yeah, or maybe he's out of shape because she's able to chase him down. Maybe he needs to be the trainer.
He got on
pants and Creed in the next movie.
He got on jeans and boots and a thick coat. That boy
in the middle of New York. This is crazy.
It's probably slippery out there. That boy getting little. He getting little. And the fact that she kept going.
Like, it got him running in slow motion like the Hulk. They probably did that on purpose. Look at this hulking guy.
Johnathan, come back. I'm not going to keep chasing you.
Man, I know this is off subject, but I know y'all seen Disney release them and whatnot. It just...
Yeah.
Marvel would never be the same after Endgame.
Marvel, yeah. I've been done with Marvel. I've been done with them. I gave them chances after Endgame because I did like WandaVision. I did like Falcon and the Winter Soldier a little bit. I liked it because I like the Scarlet Witch character. I thought there was going to be more. They let me down in the finale.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Wakanda Forever was a good dedicate for Chadwick, but other than that,
I read this piece of shit and I hated it.
What?
I hated watching the Hispanic kingdom beat up the black kingdom. The black patriarch was dead.
I don't understand what people thinking about that.
Killed Shuri's mama. Killed the whole royal bloodline is dead, and Shuri was about to sleep with this motherfucker.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Mama. He killed Angela Bassett, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's gonna get the award. Oh, best actress goes to," and she ain't getting that shit. Stop letting them kill us on screen and otherwise, thinking that they're going to deify us like they did Jesus. As you see, they don't let him be depicted as black.
Yeah, I don't understand the point of what people say. They're getting rid of Johnathan Majors from playing an evil character. Wouldn't it fit if you think he's an asshole? If you think he abused her, wouldn't it fit for him to play an evil character? That means that would fit.
Because this is Disney and we're going to make toys that depict Cain, and parents won't buy these toys for their kids if they know this about the guy.
But he's an evil guy. So the toy is the evil person. That's what I don't get. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. If you have an evil guy like Thanos and the guy behind him is evil, doesn't that just play more into the character? That make me hate the character and want to watch him get beat even more. That's how wrestling works. People know the guy, a
But that's
figure
why
you're a
it still
bad guy,
works for
then the character works even more.
Hey,
you would
she's
think that.
acting right here. She is
You would think
acting,
that
yo.
helps for the character even more. But as you see, the scariest thing to white people is a black person. They don't make movies where we're murdering them. They will make movies where a motherfucker,
Candyman.
a demon like Freddy Krueger, comes back from hell to murder them and their
Candyman.
children. They'll make movies about zombies coming back from the dead to murder them. They'll make movies about rape and this and that, but they will not make a movie about black people doing the thing that they are afraid of most, progressing.
Did Django ever win anything? Like an Oscar?
No, the industry hates Quentin Tarantino, but that's also because he's a weirdo his damn self. He's slightly racist sometimes, but
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, Django it won no award. It maybe won some Sundance stuff, maybe won
Yeah.
some critical stuff, but by the Academy, by
Not
Yeah.
the
the
Oscars.
Oscars, by the Emmys, by the Tonys, and the EGOT Society, nah. Pulp Fiction has some shit though.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs.
We must be
Right.
talking about Tarantino.
Johnathan Majors walked out of court with heavy security after being found guilty of assault and harassment. He was acquitted of 2 other charges that required prosecutors to show Majors intentionally committed those acts.
Do you think your son got a fair trial?
The 34-year-old star has demmed since he was arrested in March after a fight with his ex-girlfriend Grace
That's not a
Jabari.
fight.
He played roles in Marvel films and Creed 3, but it was his performance in the TV series Lovecraft Country that made Hollywood take notice.
They canceled it after
During
one season,
deliberations, the
everybody
jury asked to rewatch surveillance video from the incident in slow motion, where it appears Majors shoves Jabari into a black Escalade. Another video shows Jabari running after Majors following the incident. She testified she grabbed Majors' phone after seeing a text message from another woman. In a criminal complaint, Jabari accused Majors of assaulting her, leaving a cut behind her ear and fracturing her finger. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
That Johnathan Majors did not intend to cause any physical harm to this woman. But what Johnathan Majors did, by virtue simply of his actions, his size, his strength, was create a substantial risk of physical injury.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Simply by his size and strength. So again, they're telling us right there, black men, because we're bigger than white men, we're bigger than every other man on this planet. Because of our size and our strength, we're always going to be seen as the aggressor, even when we are running away, even when we're trying to push an attacker off.
I know this is off topic, but it looked like he done try to come back home with that boozy fade.
I mean, is he still there making good? So he got some is making good. I mean,
Yeah, he's still. Well, I don't know. That's a good question because I felt like Megan Good was like the get a black woman look innocent kid for the jury to get sympathy. I also heard too. I'm not 100% sure that there was only one black woman on that jury and the rest of the people up there were white. I don't know how many white women were up there, but that's what I heard.
They show us
that
the intricacies of these cases, but yeah, we don't get to see that. We don't get to see if they were truly judged fairly by a jury of their peers. Like we literally get to see the security footage, all the evidence, the text messages, and all the shit that you should only see if you are involved with this court case, but we don't get to see the jury. We don't get to see the people deliberating on it. It's some bullshit. Some bullshit. And it's always like this anytime one of our celebrities or a black person is on trial for something. I remember saying it at the beginning of this year. That fucking January, or not even this year. Damn, it's been a minute. I remember saying it for so damn long. The January 6th trials, or the trials for the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, they were being covered so quietly. Like you didn't see the footage being re-examined. You didn't see CNN talking about what happened in court this day. There was no play-by-play. There was no Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram thread about what happened with these terrorists who terrorized the Capitol building and threatened state officials and politicians and shit. They all got sentenced pretty quietly. They all got slaps on the wrist. They can go back to their jobs. They can go, like very few of them lost their jobs. And even so, to the point, a lot of them that got charged for literally being there and causing a riot sued the people that sued the American government back and were able to settle out of court for it. Like when it comes to our cases, they blow them up, they sensationalize them. And even when we are only guilty of self-defense, we are still guilty.
I got a question for all three of y'all.
So,
Cause I with this situation, I seen this a lot, and a lot of people post and whatnot. How do y'all feel when y'all hear, well, that's what he get for dating outside his race? How y'all feel about that?
I hear what people are saying.
Yeah.
You know, I think this could have happened with any woman, but if he would go to court with a black
Mm-hmm.
woman, the optics would look different. If he had a jury of black women versus a jury of all white women, he
The
could
woman's question would
harsher
sooner be
sentence
called
might have
into doubt if she was black.
Yeah.
a
They would
harsher
question
sentence
her
might have
character.
come if he went with a white woman, which he did, to this case versus if it was a black woman. Maybe nothing would have been done. He might have actually saw justice.
Nothing would have been done because remember that NFL player, white guy, who I think beat and
I know
murdered
what
his
you're talking about,
black
yeah.
wife.
Okay, maybe I don't know what you're talking
What's
about.
the? Yeah, I can't even. I don't remember his name. I only remember seeing it spoken about in the news maybe a handful of times. But
Some
yeah, I
I feel
I don't remember court trial. I don't remember court coverage for that whatsoever. And that's because when it's a black woman, the court doesn't care. The court is more liable to say, "Oh, well, she probably had attitude. She was probably well, as you see here, she was swinging on him. She was swinging on him because she went through his phone and saw that he was cheating on her."
If you're talking about the
Why
same
did he
person I'm
run?
thinking about, when his case came, well, not his case, when he was arrested, they talked about him being bipolar and such like that. So they talked about his
Feel
mental
bad for
illness,
him.
which that
But
would have
once
been
again,
different the other way around because
but once
nobody
again,
asked
Choked out
Johnathan
mentally
Majors
ill black man this year on the
no,
bus.
nobody asked Johnathan Majors if he had any mental issues. It's
Right.
just
but see,
he's just
at the same
inherently
token,
evil. So that goes back to what we're talking about with the Color Purple movies like that. Like nobody asked
yeah.
what's the root of the cause if he's acting a certain way because of how he was raised or if he had mental issues. It's taught
Mhm.
that you're inherently violent or inherently
Yep.
evil. And the other
Yep.
side, if like the story LT's talking about, if we're talking about the same story, first thing that came up was, oh, he has mental disease. Just like with police mass shootings. They come up, oh, was he
Concussion,
raised
you
in an
know,
abusive home?
concussion.
Was he bipolar? Did he have to take pills and stuff to keep it regulate his mind? That always comes up first. It's second for us or not at all.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. For us, it's really not at all. It becomes a point where just like I think I heard it when he started doing this Jeffrey Dahmer show and everything, and the kid this kid was recently shot or something by the police, and they
Mhm.
said they bought out everything about the kid's family and about him, and that he got into a few altercations in school and everything. But when they speak on people like Jeffrey Dahmer or any of the other murderers or whatever they are, they say, "Oh well, no one would have expected him to be this way. He was such a quiet person, and we would have never. Maybe something pushed him over the edge. But when it's a black man, just like that situation right there, he was running up the street. If he is your attacker, why do you run behind your attacker? Why are you chasing your attacker
Found it.
as he is fleeing?"
The white NFL player, he didn't kill his wife. His name is Chad Wheeler.
Yeah, you talking
And
about the same.
this is how quietly these things go down. This post that I'm about to read is an article from ESPN.com that was released last month. Now, did you see this on the Twitter news feeds? Did you see this blown up on Instagram? Did you see this anywhere? Chad Wheeler found guilty on 2 domestic violence counts. Former NFL offensive lineman Chad Wheeler was found guilty Thursday on 2 counts of domestic violence from a 2021 incident. So it's been 2 years with his then girlfriend. Wheeler, then a backup tackle for the Seattle Seahawks, was arrested in January of 2021 after being accused of pinning down the woman and twice choking her until she lost consciousness. The woman, Aaliyah Taylor, told police that when she regained consciousness for the second time, Wheeler expressed surprise that she was still alive. This woman is literally told police, and she didn't come to social media first. She didn't make a long Twitter post. She didn't make a long Instagram post. She went to the police. She didn't let us see her face. She didn't try to get any fame and clout. She went to the police. And this man, 2 years later, is only being found guilty of domestic violence. Not attempted murder, not strangulation. Yep, first and second degree assault, domestic violence. Wheeler was found not guilty of third count of unlawful imprisonment. So he was charged with unlawful imprisonment, but they threw that the fuck out because that's a hefty one. Let's see. Wheeler was taken into custody and is scheduled to be sentenced December 14th. Heard nothing about that. December 14th was last week. They ain't say not shit. Not shit.
Didn't see it on the news.
Didn't see it on the news. And I ain't see no, because ESPN still be popping up on my YouTube news feed. I ain't see them talking about this.
Hey, LT, that's crazy you brought that up because anytime what recent especially like Stephen A, I think Anthony Edwards right now got something going on. Anytime, especially somebody black got some stuff going on outside the field or outside the court, Stephen A be hammering on them guys.
Weed.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, the girl he was with outed him for asking her to have an abortion. He was trying to give her like some money and to get her to hurry up and do it. She was act like she was cool to do it at the end of the conversation, but then she put the conversation on social media to try to out him. It's like,
yes.
Because I think those are emotional responses. You would rather hurt the person's reputation than actually see the justice be brought to the situation or receive what you are financially or materially due.
Yeah.
When you just want to record them saying some fucked up shit just so you can be validated in your pain and your hurt, it's completely. But it was so hard to find this article. I typed in NFL player. Well, I was probably typing in the wrong shit. That's why it didn't pop up like that. But yeah, when you type in Chad Wheeler, the first thing that pops up is not his court cases. It's just, his regular, you can't see it on my shit, but yeah, it's just his NFL stats, his overview, his stats video. Chad Wheeler is a former American football offensive tackle. He played college football for USC Trojans football team from 2012 to 2016. At the end of 2006, like literally, you had to do some scrolling to find the actual case and then talking about it, because that's not the face that you want as the face of abuse and domestic violence, even though it's been the face of abuse and domestic violence since the dawn of time, which is the white man.
Let it be black.
See, I'm looking at the article, and this is November 23rd, I think. And part of what I see in there is Wheeler, who has bipolar disorder, say he was experiencing a manic episode. See, they mentioned the mental health thing in there with him, but that's not usually mentioned.
Because that's a hot button topic.
Where's Malika Andrews when you need her?
Oh, Malika Andrews. She only speaks on certain things and certain people. Malika Andrews.
Man, she be trashing black athletes like it ain't nothing, man.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much Chad Wheeler slander. Like I heard Laura Ingram tell LeBron James to shut up and dribble, but you got no smoke for white athletes that beat up black women, and that's primarily what it was. You beat up a black woman. If Tom Brady beat up his wife, yeah, people would be on it because she was a model. We did care about her at one point in time.
Yeah.
But you beat up a black woman named Aaliyah Taylor.
It's crazy.
This motherfucker was still able to play football for 2 years.
Who did that?
Collect a check.
Catch a ball. These are the people, what did I tell you? The Roman Empire. If we keep them fed and entertained, we can do what we want.
Back to what Charleston White said. These motherfuckers are gladiators. Like, not even just the football stadium or the basketball stadium, the entertainment arena as a whole. It's where they go to fight. They literally fight for our attention. They're fighting to stay relevant to us because our attention spans have been made and conditioned so feebly. So, they said this about you, or I read this about you in the shade room, so I'm gonna make memes about you and shit. I'm not going to go out and support you the way that I would if, like they talk so much shit about how terrible of a person Ariana Grande is or Taylor Swift is, but their fan bases don't turn on them as easily as the fan base of black people
Of
and
black
how we
race.
like celebrities. You know what I'm saying? When we hear about this man is an abuser. Oh yeah, he is. When we hear about this woman says this man assaulted her. Oh yeah, she lying. She lying.
Oh, that's just man, period. But black men, especially, black guys don't have groups like Swifties and the Beehive and
Yeah,
what.
we have Barbies. We are black men. We have the Future Hive because that is a fucking cult. If you like them motherfuckers, they love Future. Honestly, you can. The Kanye West fans, Yeezy fans, they love that man way too much. They honestly, they love Kanye West so much that when he said Big Sean was the worst decision I ever made as an artist, they agreed with him. And we all know Big Sean is literally top 5 as far as your label talent goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, to say that was an emotional thing to say while you're sitting here drinking and smoking, also bipolar. But nobody gives a fuck about Kanye West being bipolar because he's doing what we want him to do. He's being off the hinges. He's saying he's speaking the truth. We only care about certain things, certain ailments, certain situations that happen to people when when we can view it from the standpoint of voyeurship, when it's literally something that is put in the form of entertainment for us. We will literally go and be entertained by a whole bunch of black women being mistreated by an ugly black man, the color purple. But they're gonna sing about it. They got Fantasia.
You got to be entertained by the big booty shaking women too. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
Whoever controls the music controls the people.
All you gotta do is put it in a song. You put in you can find information in the book. You also can hide information also in a song too, because there's a lot of people go back and listen to a song and like, dang, I didn't even hear those lyrics before. I was too busy dancing to the beat.
Songs literally become not even many, full-fledged mantras that we repeat to ourselves on a daily basis. Like motherfuckers, women were literally walking around for months saying F-R-E-E, fuck, nigga free, like that. And as Glorilla said before she got down with all this, I'm humiliating myself and I'm trying to look good for y'all type shit. She was saying, well, the things I was writing were mantras. These were aspirations. The things I was writing, like I would say these things to myself. I would actually speak them to myself. And that's what I wanted to be because I was dealing with a bunch of fuck niggas at the time. So I wanted to be F-R-E-E, fuck nigga free. And we don't pay attention to how repeating those same words, like speaking words is spell casting. When you're praying, you're casting spells because you're literally using your vocals and your words to try to manifest something into reality, either by speaking to an invisible daddy figure in the sky that never speaks back, or by speaking to an invisible force in the sky that never speaks back. You're trying to cast a spell. And when we sing words, when we put a beat above them, now you're adding a frequency. Now you're adding a sound. Now you're adding a vibration. And those are universal. Those are things that we use to communicate with each other before we had words. When we just had, like we only had sounds and certain vibrations. Like there was a way that you clapped your hands that gave off a certain frequency and vibration that was this is a wake up clap, or this is a go back to sleep clap, as voodoo doctors and shit would do. So what they did, what the music industry has been revolutionary at doing, but doing behind the scenes, they hire music genius, people who have studied music, the people who actually go to school to study music, and they pay them millions and millions of dollars. But because they're not the image, because they're not the one selling the music or the image that sells the music, you don't hear about them as much. But they are literally paid millions, sometimes billions, to lace our music with certain frequencies to invoke anger, certain frequencies to invoke depression. I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the look. Like as we are moving into the fucking 15th year of emo rap. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people that are hired to put things into our music to make us more susceptible to the things that they put into our movies, to the things that they put into our TV shows, to the things that they put into our food, and to the things that little by little move into our communities. That's what being gentrified is called. That's what happened to the Native Americans, guys.
So at the end of the conversation, Johnathan Majors shouldn't have dated a white woman. Is that what we're saying?
He shouldn't have. I'll be honest. To round it out and say you shouldn't have.
That's what Black Twitter saying.
Not to say that
Black
you should
Swiss
do
fan.
it because the police or the law would care less that it was a black woman. I just don't think. I mean, but I've been wrong because I've dated black women that they know when they are losing an argument or when the fight gets heated, the one thing they can always say, "Oh, did you just try to hit me?" Oh, see, I'm a car. Like there are women that literally
Rihanna.
look to
Oh,
invoke
damn.
violence from a man just because they know the greatest threat that they can deal to him is not hitting him back, but taking away his freedom. That's all they think is going to happen. Or they think that another man, a policeman, is going to come over and put the same fear into this man that you wish that you could.
I'm gonna say
Tim said Rihanna. I said that's a good one right there.
no. John said Rihanna.
Oh, John said Rihanna. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, they
Don't get hit
dated,
by the Rihanna Navy.
and yeah, his Chris Brown career still suffers from that situation.
Yeah.
Mhm. And her brothers even stated that she was violent. Her brothers was like, when she couldn't get her way, she would fight on us and hit us and beat on us and then go cry to our mother.
I say, from my experience in life, most black women that I know, they can't really stand, or they really don't respect a black man dating somebody other than, you know what I'm saying, them. You know, now I can't really say vice versa. Now I do see some brothers, they like, man, she chose a white dude. But like, for example, who's that, Prince Harry?
And Meghan
I
Markle.
seen a lot of black women praising her, like, yes, because you know, she's up there. You know what I'm saying?
I hate when they do that because Meghan Markle, I guarantee you, she does not claim being black. Her literal moment of figuring out she was black was not being allowed into the royal house. You
Right.
think that she calls herself a black? I know you don't, but yeah, it's kind of an imbecilic. You look like an imbecile as a black
She a
woman. I hate
Stacey
to say
Dash.
that. When you
That's
claim
what she
this
is.
woman as you, because do you think the royal family will allow her to ascend to the title of queen? They didn't even want the bitch in the house.
Right.
Prince Henry literally had to give up being or Harry had to get. He's literally just Harry now.
Right.
He's just Harry.
It's crazy.
But
see,
I
that's the
do
thing.
think as black men, because what we don't understand fully as black men is that to the black woman, when they see us, they too, like us, see that father that they might have never encountered. So when they see you choosing a woman that does not look like them, it's a further reminder of how my original masculine force was not here to provide these things to me, and the masculine forces around my way don't want to provide these things to me.
Well, I think it's a sense of value, because I think what black women see a lot of times, so they see a black guy go date someone outside their race, they're thinking that my value is even less now because he doesn't even want to be with me. And with black men, you can look. You should look at the evidence. Black men typically, when they date white women, I wish I could do a poll on this, but when they typically date white women, they don't date their best white women.
No,
you go look at the chick that he was dating, Johnathan Majors. That wasn't the best crop of white women. That won't like supermodel white women. Go look at most of the Hollywood white women that are dating black guys. That's not the 9s and 10s of the white crop. That's not the Cindy Crawfords of the white Hollywood. That's not the Julia Roberts of back in her day, at least anyway. Of
Scarlett Johansson.
Kim K.
Yeah, they're
Kim K.
They don't date usually the 10s and stuff.
Kim K isn't even a white person that white men want, because white men immediately stop seeing white women attractive when they see how much that particular white woman has fucked with black men.
Yeah. But it typically happens, you'll see it more and more for people who are not, black guys who are not rich, black guys who are not famous. You can find it when they're rich, but just you, LT, you and Tim, you could attest to this. Just go look around this city and go see the black guy who dates white women, and go see what level of white women they're dating versus what level of black women they could be dating. They
It's
said
always the
Right.
white woman that gotta pull her pants all the way up above her belly button to make it look like
Yeah.
she got some booty, but you just trying to hide your fupa. Ew.
Mhm.
and more than likely,
But see,
more than
but see,
likely, if they are dating them, white women are dating him. They like their culture, they like their style, or their own kind don't want them. Their tens don't
Yeah.
want them, and so they may look at ours, the ones that got the culture they do like. They may look like ours as our tens. So that's why they're
also,
dating them. But if
You try
they
to go
still,
find a man that'll make the men that
hold
don't
on,
want you
hold on.
jealous.
If they could date if they could lose weight and date the type of white men they wanted to, they would jump off and date those white guys and leave those black guys behind. I fully believe that for the most part.
Yeah, they settle for the men that settle for them.
but see, let me ask you this. All right, all in all, the whole situation. One with the black women dating white guys. We don't necessarily care that they dating white guys.
Right.
Also, with like we really men ain't really stressed about that type of stuff. We don't
I'm not
care.
gonna lie, I don't like it. I don't like it at
We
all.
don't really
Because that's just
necessarily
that's
care.
the master. Like you're
I'm just saying,
you're
we don't
submitting to the
necessarily
Hold
slave.
on,
care.
one at a time. Let John finish.
Yeah, we don't necessarily care. But as far as the trickle down of the black men dating the white women that are a certain type, you got to think about this. Those ones that they choose to have the lifestyle that they pick, it's because a lot of the ones that a lot of black men would date that are not of a higher caliber financially, think about this. How many of them gonna choose you? Because daddy ain't gonna let you come in his house. Almost like that Prince Harry thing. Daddy ain't letting you come in that house.
Because women are taught to pair for economic stability. And whereas
There
the
you go.
black man is a good time in terms of, just, partying and the sexual fetishes that, black women seek from, white women seek from black men, they know that the primarily economically, the primarily dominant economic stable person in American society and Western society is the white man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun like, and so for black women, when they decide to date white men, they choose those kind of white men. Typically, sometimes they wish they could get the young, I guess, handsome prince, but as we've seen time and time again, they'll settle for the old decrepit white man.
Is Eve in that situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's much easier, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Serena Williams.
So is Khalees. So is
Yeah.
Khalees.
You said Serena Williams, Big Red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Women,
really?
as he said, women typically date. If they do date white guys, they typically date up when it comes to financial.
Mhm.
They're not dating
Right.
You
white
don't see
men
too
for
many
this.
black women date somebody with 40 missing teeth, some hillbilly in a moving trailer park. You're going to find them upgrading financially at some point. And it may be an old, decrepit looking white guy who can't remember his name and remember how to use the bathroom, but he got money. And you'll see the exact opposite because guys typically, like I said, they don't care about women's money. But look wise, which is the irony of it, is
Because
we
it's not about
want
the looks either. It's about that
Hold on.
emotional aspect of being able to.
But typically men, we want beautiful women, period. But for whatever reason, when it's white women, we kind of let that
Because
stature.
here's what the white woman makes up that the black woman lacks. And I don't want to say this in a way that makes it seem like this is something they need to be, but this is clearly why black men date or white women and low-level white men in such drones, is because those white women make them feel like men. Whether it be by not challenging them, whether it be by actually just speaking politely to them, whether it be by just not being a constant complainer or negative reminder of how low this person is in society. Because as the black man, that's something you constantly know. It's so frustrating knowing that because of my size and strength, even when I defend myself, there's a possibility that people will see me as the monster, that people will see me as the aggressor. How can I truly be a protective, authoritative, masculine, dominant force if I live in a country that fears that of me specifically. It's okay because the things that they want of black women are completely fine being. They want black women to be baby mamas because then your daddy or your baby daddy is truly the government. So you and your children belong to us. And when that's the case, that's why black women account for most of the women who get sexually trafficked, most of the women who get sexually assaulted, most of the women who get taken advantage of, most of the women who go out of the country and never get seen or heard from again. There was a black woman a year, maybe 2 years ago, that went to go hang out with all of her white friends, never came back. Never came back. And guess what? I guarantee you she didn't have a man at home wondering where my woman is. She was probably also, and I hate to say this about people who are here to defend themselves, she probably felt like she didn't need one. I got my sisters over here, even though all of your sisters or sisters with an ER. And yeah, femininity, womanhood, feminism and shit. Feminism does not work well for the black woman because feminism will not protect the black woman from the white man because white women aren't capable of protecting themselves from the white man. They submit to the white man. So what do you think you as a black woman are going to have to do when all of your men are incarcerated or in jail or feminized like they're doing to us now? Shout out to Christian Keys.
I'm going to play this video with Dr. Umar talking about Johnathan Majors right quick, and we'll get y'all guys' opinion on it.
I agree.
He said, I agree.
What bothers me the most about the Johnathan Majors situation, totally preventable. Totally preventable.
You gonna say it again?
Totally preventable.
I like Dr. Umar.
Snow bunny hunting is the most dangerous form of hunting you can do in the United States of America as a black man. It is more dangerous to hunt for a snow bunny than it is to hunt for a lion, a tiger, a bear. The most dangerous form of hunting for the black men in America is snow bunny hunting.
Dangerous.
Michael Irvin didn't do nothing but have a conversation. But why did you need a conversation with the bunny? Johnathan Majors, from what I understand, allegedly he was driving in a cab. But why were you with the snow bunny in the first place? Y'all know these white women are only considering you because you have something to offer them. That is it. You are a fetish at best.
Because I could be with a white man that I wouldn't have to put up with having women thrown. I could put up with a white man that is in the exact same tax bracket as Johnathan Majors without having to deal with him being super famous. I could do that, but white men don't want her apparently. White men, she's not a prize to white men apparently, and that's how he ended up with her.
All right, Tim, would you mess with a white woman, man? You got a snow bunny on the side somewhere, man?
Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 straight up. I never dated. Well, no, I had talked to a white woman before, but like, I don't know, and I don't want to sound like, you know what I'm saying, judgmental or whatnot when I say this. The white woman I had talked to at the point of time, she won't, I guess, white.
What does that mean?
You know what the fuck he mean?
Yeah. She had a little bit of seasoning in it.
She was lumpy.
Yeah. she ain't used pumpkin spice. She had sweet potato pie and all that.
Okay.
But even with that, like we didn't go out whatnot. It just, I don't know, man. I got mad love for the sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? Me looking at how America treat black women, regardless of all the experience I had, with, black women, the good and bad, I don't have the heart to sit here and talk brutally bad about black women because my mom is black, my sister's black, I got female black cousins, my niece is black, you know what I'm saying? So it just for the love of that, because that's my community, and I want to protect the community that brought me up. No disrespect, but nah, I had talked to one, but I don't see myself really dating.
You
I dated a
sampled
white
it.
girl before.
Huh?
So you
I dated-
sampled it, but you just
Yeah.
couldn't have a whole 4-course meal. Huh?
Nah. Even with that, it was a outside Oreo. It was
Yeah.
chocolate inside. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
vanilla
I
outside,
dated
chocolate inside.
I dated a white girl who was a white girl. She listened to alternative music. She had no ass. She was a nice girl. And yeah, like it's one, I didn't like how it let me know I never wanted to do it again because I remember I didn't like how black women interacted with me because they would literally interact with me based on why don't you like black women? And I would be like, I do. I'm just dating this woman who happens to be like you. I dated this
Is
woman when I
that
was
fair?
21 years old. I'd be like, you have no idea of my entire dating history. Like this is literally
Right.
the first white woman I've ever dated. But because you and your perspective see me with this white woman right now, and you may possibly want me, you're approaching me with the why don't I like black or like a woman literally, oh well, you must not like your mama or your sister, which is weird to say because I love my mother and my sister. I'm not romantically attracted to my mother or my sister. So I don't look for, physical characteristics that remind me of my mother and my sister when I'm looking to date a woman. So I've dated Hispanic women, I've dated Asian women, but yeah, I prefer black women. Now, when it comes down to white women, like I don't think I'd ever date outside of my race ever again, even if I were to become single again because I don't want to deal with that stress. I don't want to deal with that headache, even if it wasn't a white woman, even if it was an Asian woman, because somewhere down the line, there's something we have to talk about from your people. Like with the white girl I was dating, we only dated for like maybe 3 or 4 months. We was in Job Corps. She graduated before me. So it was easy to break up with her, like once she left or whatever the fuck. And I kind of felt relieved about it because I was always thinking, my mother always told me that if she can't use your comb, don't bring her home. So I was thinking that would be an awkward, holiday season. And then I was thinking about meeting. I remember I met her dad one time because he came to pick her up from the campus. And he was nice enough in person until, your daughter is, hyperbole and dramatic about one of our arguments or some shit until, we're, and it would start playing in my mind. It's like her dad may be nice, but what about her dad's dad? How did he feel about that? What about her dad's dad? You know what I'm saying? Like just ancestrally, I can't. And I remember one time, oh man, I could go on and on, but for a 3-month relationship with a white woman, I can honestly say you're not missing shit. Like I honestly think black men link up with white women because they're not as powerful as white women. Therefore, you won't be as challenged as often.
LT, you brought up a good point. I was thinking about like I can only imagine, and you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of interracial relationships. I just be wondering a lot of times, like when stuff get real, like the police brutality, all the political subjects. Like, how do that room look like? Of course, not with just them, because of course they, got respect for each other. They go out together, but like you said, the cousins and the aunts from both sides, the uncles. When stuff get real, like real topics, and like you said, culture topics, like how those rooms look like. I think that'd be like the biggest thing with the question.
Especially when it's black and white. Like you can kind of do it with Hispanic, you can kind of do it with Asian, but when it's black and white and we are living in America, it's always going to have that main stigma over it. And yeah, it made me uneasy. It honestly, I looked for a bullshit reason to break up with her just so I could, get the fuck up out of that.
It's like Juneteenth and then 4th of July. Yeah. You feel me?
Well, tell me this then. Can let me bring up Kendrick Lamar. And you know how pro-black he is.
Facts.
People love Kendrick Lamar. Now, he's not with a black woman. Can a person that is fighting for the cause for black people be 100% down for the cause if they He's not with a white woman. I think she's Hispanic. But can a black person who's down for the cause, so to speak,
Here's how I'm going to run it all back. We
date
give
a white woman? Hold on. Let me ask a question. Can he date a white woman and be 100% down for the cause? Get Tim answer on this.
I'm gonna give you another name. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
Yeah, there you go.
Jordan Peele. Well, Jordan Peele.
He made a whole song. This is America.
Yeah.
People
look at it a little differently when they find out
called Redbone too.
Yeah.
But not about
man. That's a good question because I'll say yeah, because those guys are not downing or like trying to downplay our women. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing if, you know what I'm saying, you're dating another race and because you got a lot of suckers that date outside that race. So like, see, that's why I left you colors. This white woman treating me, you know, I can't stand, excuse my French, I can't stand niggas like that.
Hey, look,
yeah.
It's awesome.
Huh?
That's a good point, Tim. That's a good point.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, if men who date outside their race can't be seen as 100% down for the culture, then there's no black queen. Meghan Markle is dating outside of her race, therefore she is not down for the culture. Yeah, so there is no black queen. But black women will claim her because when you want to be when you just want to be accepted so damn bad, you'll literally take anything. Now, with Kendrick Lamar, I think it's because of the California climate. We're very accustomed to seeing black and brown people commingle. And honestly, shit, that black and brown people, like it's a stereo or it's a cliche now, but yeah, we really are more connected than we are separated. If you're a studier of Santeria, the Santeria faiths that you find in Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and St. Lucia and all these Afro-Caribbean places, that literally comes from the Ele-Ife Yoruban culture of Oyo State and Nigeria of West Africa.
I ain't trying to hear that.
They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They no, because y'all over here just black. I'm Dominican, but we are the same skin tone.
Right.
Just got dropped off at a different place. But
just dropped off and y'all stayed there and y'all fought back. Congratulations. Shout out to y'all. Y'all got a whole place and it's called Mexico.
To what Tim was saying, well, about Kendrick Lamar, let's just go back to that. And who's the Childish Gambino?
Yeah, Donald Glover.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that they're the same people like Hannah Montana. But what black women gonna look at it as though as we're still not good enough for you to date. You're spreading your genes into another gene pool. And so that brings their value down in their eyes. So they can't see you as 100% down for the cause because of that. That's how I feel. That's what black women look at it as.
A different type of black man needs to become attractive to black women because let's be honest, to quote Tim, I hate to use this, excuse my French, women aren't attracted to good black men. They're attracted to niggas. There's no reason Future should be able to get so many women pregnant. There is no reason Drake should be able to this nigga's only half. There's no reason Drake should be able to literally there's no reason any black man should ever be able to, like, if women take it as disrespect to see a black man date a black woman, how come y'all constantly throw your pussies at black men who on record for a living to make their money disrespect black women? Because Love and Hip Hop, again, exists for this whole thing. Blueface literally has a career just because he keeps inviting women to his house.
You know what? Okay, what LT said. Okay, forget what I said earlier. Remember I was talking about black guys typically don't date the best looking white women. They usually date the 5s and the 6s and stuff like that. So reverse that for black women. For black men, they're dating the 5s and 6s. Now financially, they may have it. They may have a quick buck here and there. Drug dealer, rapper, entertainer who has no morals. Morals are important too. I think that should be part of what makes a high value man too. Not just the money, but the morals that they come with. But they're not dating guys with high moral fiber. And they're dating the guy that's going like Future, spreading the seed all over the place. And then after they're done having their kid and he leaves them, then they're blaming all men when they know there's plenty of men. There's
how
not.
niggas do you. Like, no, that's how the nigga that you let inside of you did you.
Yeah.
Yes, when you have the choice of who you let inside you and who you let impregnate you, when there's like 50 some odd types of birth control out there, you knew what you were getting into. You chose these guys. And there's plenty of guys that are not like Future. There are plenty of guys that don't have babies here and there, that don't have 4 and 5 and stuff like that. There are plenty of not doing
rap
illegal activities.
about how I fuck these bitches. They don't rap. Like, there are plenty of, because remember on this show, like earlier this year, we were literally shitting on, or black women were so vocal in saying that I would not date a man who drove a trash truck, or I would not date a man who drove a bus. But you'll date a man who hops, sometimes not even as famous as a rapper. You'll date a social influencer like Drewski or some shit. You'll date a motherfucker who literally does nothing but calls you bitches and hoes for jokes.
Hey, what Kevin Samuels said, the late Kevin Samuels, he said the greatest gift a woman can give a man is a child.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And then I understand your dog, man, after you done gave the man the greatest gift that you can give, that God has allowed you to do.
And women constantly give that gift to men who don't want it. They constantly get pregnant by men like Future, who does not want to be in his child's life. He just wants to fuck without protection. He just wants to have women that are always going to need him, regardless if it be for child support. And guess what? When you put a baby in a woman, they become emotionally linked to you. It's like imprinting. You literally put you put a bit of yourself inside of her. So the door is always open for you to come back in and try to be the dominant force in that household, because she's never going to, unless Sierra, until she finds a man that moves up, that doesn't give her or that moves her up financially, and not only financially, but moves her up emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, to where I don't have to constantly show myself and put myself on display and lower myself as a black woman, so that I can have my own means to take care of myself, because the man that I got pregnant by only takes care of me after I blast him on social media. So Future's baby mamas literally had to create a union in order to get. So again, they rap about throwing all this money away, but they also allegedly don't pay their baby mamas, and yet they are still adding on to their list of baby mamas.
And hate on Russell Wilson.
And Future music is being turned up and played in them strip clubs, and they twerking to it. Come on, man.
Strippers are not waiting for a doctor to come in and save them, because they don't think it capable. They don't think that, because guess what? A doctor also has an actual job, and not a job that you can get famous off of just by fucking with him. You can't get no clout off of fucking with an IT guy that's a billionaire. Because that's the way the modern woman is taught, not to build foundation with a good man, but to build foundation on your own by using whatever man you have to do so.
Yeah.
That's the city girl mindset.
Well, let's leave this one. Let's go on to the next subject. Taraji P. Henson, who is also in The Color Purple and has done quite a few Tyler Perry movies herself, and was on Empire. And I think one point she was making like $175,000 an episode on Empire at its height. So you would think she has had some pretty good success at the time, but based on what this interview she did recently, she's crying that she has not made what she feels she is worth. And she's talking with a few of her Color Purple co-stars about it. And let's see what she has to say about it. And then we're going to give our comments and opinions about it afterwards.
Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
Say it, sis. Speak on it, sis. Oh, no. Oh, I see it. Oh, my God.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid.
Okay.
A lot of people do not understand that about the entertainment industry because the headline makes hundreds of thousands of dollars per episode. They're not telling you hundreds of thousands. She gets $100,000 per episode. Then her agent gets a cut. Then her manager gets a cut. Then she's got to pay her security. Then she's got to pay her lawyers. Then she's got to pay her publicist. Then she's got to pay her it's not just I did this and now I have this in my bank account. A lot of celebrities, they don't buy things on their own. When's the last time you went out and saw a celebrity purchasing their own groceries?
Right.
The record label or the movie studio pay someone to do that for them. And when it's time for you supposedly to be getting your check, it's always going to look a little slight because, oh yeah, we just had to charge you for this and this. You ain't read your contract.
But you know what's crazy?
Video. Hold on. Then we got one more piece of video, then we'll go on from there.
Street Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said,
Shut up, Gail.
That is not the one I
I'll
was
punch
trying
Gail
to.
in the audacity.
Street Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking.
Well, maybe it's the damn same videos, but I thought it was supposed to be two different videos up here. Well, we'll just leave it at that then. Thought it was supposed to be a whole separate video, but okay. So here's what I say about that. Yeah, of course, but that's true for everybody. When you become richer and you would expound on those riches, you got to spend money to make money. I think what a lot of people are going to get, they're going to lose feeling for this is you're still a millionaire. She's worth $12 million versus people who are struggling to work 3 jobs at a time to make ends meet. And this also, I guess, probably plays a part in people like Christian Keys or other people who are promised certain riches. And if you do certain things, I can make you a millionaire. I can make you 8 figures, 9 figures in the industry if you just got to do a few things. But again, that also plays into how high your morals versus trying to become a millionaire for a quick buck or a long buck or lifetime buck or setting up for generational wealth. How high are your morals? What are you willing to do that? I don't know if she is getting paid what she's worth. Yeah, well, first of all, no one ever gets paid what they're worth. No one. You only get paid what you're willing to negotiate or able to negotiate. No one ever gets paid what they're worth. I mean,
Monique and Netflix.
What's that?
I said Monique and Netflix.
Right. Monique, of course, she wants to make more than or somewhere on the same level as Dave Chappelle and I forgot what that white female comedian name was. Amy Schumer. But she didn't stadiums. She had no work or recent work that she could go off of and say, hey, this is why I should make this amount. They finally caved in. I wish I knew the amount that they gave her, but that comedy special didn't do numbers. That comedy special didn't do numbers like she thought she was. And I mean, this is a matter of opinion. It wasn't that funny. It was more like a TED Talk, if anything. It didn't seem like a comedy special, but I can guarantee you they're not going to pay her anywhere near Amy Schumer and Dave Chappelle going forward. Because, she was able to negotiate probably a fair number, but she's never going to get what she thinks she's worth because it goes off of what the consumers want. The consumers don't want you. They're not going to get it. And I don't know if Taraji wants to get paid top billing for her movies, but I don't know what's a top movie that Taraji has been in where she was the top actor in that and not a co-star.
Let's see. Hidden Figures.
Which one?
Hidden Figures.
Was she the top actor in that film, or was she a co-star?
You talking about that joint when she was the school system in Raleigh back in the day?
She was, played one of the black women who went, the astrophysicist, the black lady astrophysicist who helped put a man on the moon.
Oh, okay.
But she was the lead actor in that film.
She was the lead.
Okay.
And then shit, her work on Empire as Cookie Lion. That was a #1 syndicated show on a weekly basis.
I don't know. Let's see. Kevin Costner was in that film too. She wasn't gonna make over Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner played one of the bad white. The film was about, or from the perspective of these black women, and she was the star of that. Like when they start, they say Taraji. It gets a and Kevin Costner, but the main star of the film is Taraji P. Henson. She plays the black lady that actually figured out how to put a man on the moon.
The Best of Enemies. Y'all remember that movie, The Best of Enemies? That's the one I was talking about. A pretty good movie too, man. She's basically things like the 1960s, you know, the whole civil rights movement, and she played a teacher fighting for equal rights for the school system out there in Raleigh. You know, I had did a little research on it. Yeah, it was a school system out there in Raleigh. She had a major role in that. I'm surprised they ain't really blow up as supposed to, but
I mean, major roles one thing. I'm talking about like lead a film. Like Jim Carrey led The Mask. You know, not like Waiting to Exhale that had a bunch of people help out the film. I'm talking about lead a film. Like Wesley Snipes led Blade. Huh?
She had a black exploitation film that came out a couple years ago called Proud Mary.
Yeah, I know that didn't do good. I know that didn't do good.
But even outside of that, like I can think of, is Michael Caine a lead actor?
He once was, yes.
Once was, but I guarantee you he gets paid top billing to show up as a cameo.
Because people want to see him. That's based off of his past.
Clooney probably got paid like $10 million easy just to show up for like 2 minutes in The Flash.
You said
Robert Downey Jr. after playing Iron Man one time, the first time he played Iron Man, he was paid $500,000. The movie turned out to be a great success. He was able to renegotiate his shit for, I want to say, like, eventually he started being paid $50 million for each fucking appearance. That's why they killed him off, because he was too expensive.
You said Robert Downey Jr. or are you talking about Terrence Howard?
Robert Downey Jr. But thank you for saying that, because Terrence Howard also knew, well, I played James Rhodes. I play Rhodey. I'm going to be an integral part of the MCU moving forward. I should renegotiate. No, Terrence, no. We're going to pay you the exact same.
He would have made more money than Robert Downey. I remember him saying that.
Yeah.
Because with us, they let us know you're replaceable, nigga. And we gonna go find a nigga that'll do it for the money that we trying to offer your nigga ass, man. Enter Don Cheadle.
Hey, she put that work in though. I give it. I salute on it.
She did. I just don't know how much she's expecting to make though, because I mean, it sounds like on Empire, your first season on a TV show, you don't get paid a lot, and based off of what the numbers did, reoccurring seasons, you get paid more. You can ask for raises. This is why most Marvel films, the first one, Black Panther, nobody made money on Black Panther. It's like when Friday came out, nobody made money on Friday, but the sequels, they made money on the sequels. Because they made more money next Friday. They made more money on the second Black Friday, even though T'Challa didn't get to see it, unfortunately. But you make more money on the sequels. Terminator didn't make no money. You made more money on the sequels, and then you become rich off of that. I don't know what she has movie-wise that she could probably proclaim to be one of the top movie actresses out there. I could say Viola. I wouldn't put her in the same level as Viola Davis.
Yeah, Viola Davis. Yeah, she a big name too.
She's a big name. I know she has talked about getting paid on the same level as some of her other leading actors who happen to be white. So.
And then they put out so many lies. Like I'm scrolling by so many things. It says Taraji was getting paid $25 million per episode. That Jussie was getting 1.5 million. Terrence was getting 5 million. And then you see other things that say, well, Jussie was actually getting 65 per episode, and Taraji was getting 125 per episode.
That show would be bankrupt if they were paying them 25 million an episode.
Like, these motherfuckers are literally, they just put out numbers. And I honestly feel like that's just for the lesser evolved, weak-minded people that only know how to measure people's success in terms of how much money they have in the bank, how many people are watching the show, whatever can be quantified with numbers. They put those out there to confuse, because whereas, yeah, if I Google Taraji P's net worth, she's worth that. That never means that's what she has in her bank account.
Right.
And even if she only has $12 million, yeah, for as many times as I've seen BET play Baby Boy, you should have more.
Right.
As many times as, like, and I know as many times as BET and VH1, all of Viacom CBS has played Hustle and Flow. You should have more. And when you're that caliber actress, that, yeah, you might not be in the Oscar-winning films of the year and shit, but you're constantly working and you're constantly turning out good performances. It's just like being on the job. If you show up on time and you're good at your job, they promote you in pay. Your pay scale rises, unless they want you to feel like a slave.
Right. I was thinking about Angela Bassett. I guess that's the, I don't know if I want to say ceiling. Because Angela Bassett, she, like, you know what I'm saying, she's respected by everybody. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how her salary look like, but you know, I'm just thinking about big household names with the black actress or whatnot. Tahaji, she put her work in, but like you said, you know what I'm saying, like what both of y'all said, it's like who you trying to compare your you know, a tax bracket with.
Yeah.
And to prove a point, you know, highly weird, not gonna be fair about it.
Nope.
Well, and there's also too the support. It almost sounds like the support that they complain about with the WNBA. Like, you're not going to get paid for certain action movies or just big box office movies,
you know,
because
all
we
these
don't
rich
support
women
films the same way guys do. Same way with WNBA. They may play just as hard as the guys, but it ain't as retaining.
No woman ever stops and asks, why hasn't Oprah invested in the WNBA? As the most richest and most powerful woman on this planet, why has she invested in female sports? How come Rihanna, another billionaire, how come she hasn't built any battered women shelters? You know what I'm saying? Like that thing that she is, that thing that kind of, I don't want to say launched her career, but definitely launched her career into the stratosphere. I want to say back in 2009, yeah, she was like one of the first ones to be like, oh, I'm about to sail villainizing this black man. I'm about to ruin America's sweetheart right the fuck here. But all these rich women, all these newly rich, the Black Lives Matter women, how many battered women's and children's shelters have they created? Like, how many? And again, I hate to count people's pockets, but we talk about how these things don't get or these feminine run or predominantly feminine institutions don't get supported. But there are rich women. Amy Schumer got paid just as much as Dave Chappelle. How come women aren't being paid more in your industry, Amy? You got the money to go around. How come you're not employing people? Kevin Hart be employing people and paying them.
He does do that.
Yeah.
Well, part of that, which, man, this is going to hurt if that first story is true. You know, Tyler Perry made his own studios, and so he can employ certain people, which
so that he can imprison
black people. Who that?
So he can imprison?
Well, that too, if it's true. But I'm
why
saying,
you need a compound? Nah, fuck that shit. Why you need a compound? Why you need him to live here?
But it does. These are the type of things that do help. And I don't know if that's what Taraji is trying to do. If you're not getting, same thing with these damn Oscars. If you're not getting the attention that you want from these other people, then you're gonna have to make your own awards, make your own studios to make this type of. You can't ask the oppressor, if that's what you're calling. You can't ask the oppressor to help you out. That wouldn't make any sense. So you're gonna have to own your own studio, earn your own money, make movies overseas.
And that's what a lot of our celebrities are telling us. They're kind of soft snitching on themselves and telling us, we don't have the money for that. We don't have the money to support ourselves. We have to sign these contracts with these record labels, and we have to sign these contracts with these movie studios that underpay us for our work and don't even pay us fairly on the back end when they continue to make money off of selling our albums still or selling our DVDs and home box office sets. Like they have to do that. Because as she said, they're not being paid fairly. And when the check finally gets to them, the math ain't mathing. And what's also sad about it is you can see that Black celebrities do not have enough faith or any faith in the Black community to be their financial foundation.
I don't think she said it in this video, but I'm gonna read a quote where she said, I guess when she goes to talk to directors about getting a raise, she said that part of the reason why you're not getting a raise for the movie you're trying to be in is because Black actors don't sell overseas, which I have heard a lot. And the only pushback I've heard on that, Michael Jai White, he does a lot of his films overseas. The Hammer Anderson, I think that's his name from I think the 60s, the Black exploitation movies. The Hammer used to be a former football player. He did a lot of his movies overseas because he was told the same thing. But from what I've heard, action movies don't see color. Like people are excited wherever nation you go to. If you do action movies like kung fu movies or whatever, action movies, period, everyone loves those. And Michael Jai White, he gets a lot of his films.
He's also a martial artist
by people from foreign industries, like because he does a lot of independent films. And he gets a lot of money from different countries that help fund those things because action usually doesn't see any color. That's why you don't see a lot of Chinese, Japanese drama movies. But Jet Li and Jackie Chan, we know about that because we love action no matter what. It doesn't even have to be in our language, and we love that. So same thing with when Michael Jai White makes movies like that, they translate no matter where he goes, and he still makes money. For Taraji, I don't know what she could do to make that translate. Because I heard the same thing about when Black Panther, the second one, Wakanda Forever came out, it didn't do great numbers in China because it doesn't translate well. For whatever Black films don't translate well, even though that's an action film, but it didn't translate well into China when it comes to
no Disney movie ever since Endgame has translated well. Shit, think about this. Shang-Chi, Disney's Marvel's first Asian superhero, didn't even make $1 billion in China.
Was it because
Black Panther made $1 billion? Like the Black Panther 1 made $1 billion all over the world, or not domestically, but internationally, $1 billion. And back in 2008, during the Beijing Olympics, you want to know the number one basketball jersey was?
What was it? Kobe Bryant.
Not Yao Ming. Not any of the native Asian players that were competing against them. The number one NBA one. It's amazing that they don't accept Black faces over there, but they know the NBA. So they probably play their form of basketball. And for literally a decade, even before his death, Kobe Bryant's jersey was the number one selling jersey in all of China. When they say that Black faces or Black actors, Black films don't do well overseas, think about for Jackie Chan and Jet Li, they probably told them motherfuckers, Asian karate films don't do well over here in America. They told Bruce Lee that shit.
Yeah. But see, I remember I said action movies, regardless, no matter what the color, does well. I don't know if female action movies do well.
Do y'all think that's due to poor promotion?
What's up?
Do y'all think that's due to poor promotion?
I think that is also. I think it's due to poor promotion because I've never seen because you can find them on YouTube. You can find the trailers as they're done in different languages, and for a lot of Black movies. Yeah, there's no translation of Argentina, or there's no Argentinian translation for Wakanda Forever. There's no, and they'll try it. Big conglomerates like Disney will try it, but what they will say is, we're just not seeing any returns on our ethnic characters. So let's just go back to let's just make America great again. Let's just give them some good old fashioned white men because. These countries, these continents, these other places of the world, that's the one thing they have in common. They're very used to the white man coming over to their nation and selling whatever the fuck they want to sell, doing whatever the fuck they want to do. Chinese people are all down for that. Like it's these other nations that come to our country willingly, that understand that this is a nation built on prejudice. It's a nation built on raping and pillaging. It's a nation built on treating people that are not of European descent like outsiders. But they still come over here trying to do exactly what everyone is trying to do, jump to the next fucking tax bracket.
I don't think it has nothing to do with promotion, because in the 60s and 70s, when the blaxploitation era was happening in Hollywood was almost about to go bankrupt because of the movies just won't selling like that. And they used the blaxploitation movement, these low budget films, which were a lot of action, even though it was bad role models for black people because they were pimps and hoes and all these type of things. Pam Grier, The Hammer, Shaft, and shit like that. Even though Shaft probably was probably the better role model of any of them, I guess. He
was a womanizer still a little bit.
Yeah, he was one of the nicer ones because he was actually a cop. So he was actually fighting for the law instead of like Superfly and shit like that. But they were not heavily promoted to the white community, but people dug those movies because they dug the story, and they brought Hollywood on from the brink of bankruptcy. It's almost like in the same vein as UPN and the WB when they first start, and Fox, they got all these black shows, Steve Harvey Show, the Wayans brothers, and when they start becoming successful, they never make those type of shows again because we got what we done. We got our GoFundMe money, so now we're going to put more money in the budget for other things like this. So
yeah, now we can make that Full House remake we've been talking about for years.
Right.
Now we can bring all the friends back, put them in the same apartment, but they're also there with their kids, and it's called My Kids Friend or something like. Yeah, they do that to us a lot. If you ask any Hollywood insider, any person who is a Hollywood vet, they will never talk about how blaxploitation saved the movie industry, because they also it's funny, they'll use those movies to build their funds, but yeah, they're not going to show you images of just smart black people. And they might, but they can only do that one at a time. It has to look, because we did get the Huxtables in the 80s. But these things are these black forms of media that we have, we're always going to face not being paid justly for them whenever we're doing them whenever we're doing them for someone else. Like we truly have to, ownership is a must, because until we own the production company, we're never going to be paid fairly by the production company.
And so I think Taraji, that pride is going to be something. She might have to go outside the U.S. and work independently instead of trying to get paid from these big production companies. And once she gets the cachet, then maybe she can come back over here and ask for the big bucks once they see what her value is.
Nah, fuck that. Because Taraji has literally been an active actress, I want to say, since like early preteen or maybe as a child. She has been consistently working, and she always turns in shit. Fucking Hustle and Flow got nominated for some Grammys and some. No, they got nominated for an Oscar for the song that she sang.
And how much did Terrence Howard make off of that? Like $15,000. He didn't make nothing off of that.
You get paid up front, and then you get fucked on the back end, because what you didn't read in the back pages of your contract is that if the movie does well, your company is going to get 70% of the gross returns, and then you'll get that remainder 30%, and that 30% that you get, you got to break it up with your team. Which leaves you with functionally probably about 3%.
Yeah.
And
that's what Kanye West was saying. That's why he was saying, that's why I don't want to make music, and I would just rather make fashion, because I would own my own clothing line. I would own the brand. And with making music, I go in there, my label gives me an advance for the album. I literally use that money to either keep my lifestyle afloat, because I gotta have on the freshest clothes, I gotta have on jewelry, I gotta have the flyest car anytime y'all see me, because if I'm not wearing my wealth, you won't think that I have it. And me having wealth is essential for me being a influential black person. So I use the advance on everything except the music. I try to force myself to create something, even though I'm clinically depressed. I put it out to the label on a fucking deadline. And if it doesn't, well, hopefully it does well, because if it doesn't, yeah, I'm still only getting, like, if I only sell 1 million copies and I only get, let's say I sell 5 million and I get $1 million off of that shit. Or, $1 album, $1 a stream. But then again, they don't even get that. They get a third of a penny. That's what the major artists, every artist, gets on Spotify. One stream is a third of a penny. A third of 1 cent. So they literally have to hope that their album is spent millions of times, thousands of times, or millions of times, just to hope that they break even on what the label advanced them. Because not only does the label want you to pay that advance back, in your contract it states, this is what we projected you to make on the first album. We gave you 500,000. We projected you to make 1 million off of that, because you're supposed to be a positive investment. You should
go the independent route.
A lot of artists are afraid to go the independent route because, just like what I said, you would have to depend on your fan base to be your financial foundation. Your fan base will not give you an advance on the first album before it comes out.
That's what I'm saying about that. You may have to eat some crow and go the independent route, because if it ain't working, you can't beg the oppressor or the owner to pay you what you're worth, because he ain't gonna do it. They're in the business to make more money, not lose. They're not trying to pay you more. They're gonna pay you the least amount they can, because they're trying to line their pockets. So you're gonna have to be them. You're gonna have to put yourself in that position. You're gonna have to start, hopefully not at the very bottom, but you can't beg them for something that they don't want to give you.
But
and I don't feel sorry for you. I mean, boo-hoo. There's a lot of people that don't get paid what they're worth. There's people, like I said, they're scraping by every day, sleeping in cars and then going to work, or living homeless and still going to work, or don't have a job at all because they can't get a job. I mean, you're acting. That is really acting, and basketball, I guess any kind of sports like that. That's a hobby you're getting paid for. That's supposed to be something that's supposed to be fun. Supposed to do. There's people doing back-breaking labor and making a tenth.
Think about this. We live in a society where you got to drive everywhere you go. The motherfuckers who build our roads and lay down pavement get paid damn near minimum wage. They get paid way less than somebody who pretends to be a nerd on Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Because people will always pay more for entertainment, because life is already, for all of us regular people, life is already so tragic. It's so droll. It's so depressing. It's so hard. So we've been conditioned and programmed to give up everything, our hard-earned, depressing-earned, sad-earned money, just to be momentarily entertained.
Yeah. But I don't feel sorry for you. I don't. I hear you. I hope you can change your life around with whatever you do. But a lot of people would love to have 12 million and didn't have it being taxed, and you have to pay 30% to your team, and then you have the rest of it. You have something to do with. There's some people who don't have 30 cents left at the end of the week. So you crying about that? Yeah, I can understand you. Like I said, talking about your plight and trying to get better and working for the next generation, but you're crying about that. And people have to
look at Taraji have to say when Monique was crying about that. Did she come out in strong support of Monique? This is what I was saying about Christian. Like, we love saying that these things happen, or we don't. This has been happening for so damn long. Celebrities only mention it when it happens to them personally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so damn. I love Taraji P. Henson, but it's so damn selfish. Because they know that this happens. You think you, as a black actress woman, aren't being paid what you should be? Imagine the black receptionist woman. Imagine the black Walmart woman. Imagine the black teacher woman.
I will say this.
Hey, the school system.
Go ahead. What'd you say? School system. I will say this. I think Taraji has a better case than Monique had when she was talking about boycotting Netflix.
Taraji does have better roles than Monique. Monique is trying to get millions off of fat girls, and that's just not gonna. I'm not gonna. I know that, but you know what? She did get. Did she get a Oscar or nominated for Precious?
Precious.
She got an Oscar for that. Yes.
Okay, so that's why I can understand why Monique wants it but also same case.
She wasn't going into acting trying to ask more money. She was doing it based off of comedy.
Which she has done a lot as a comedian. She is a queen of comedy. She had one of the most successful UPN shows of all time.
Yeah, but that was like 15 years ago when she was doing Queens of Comedy, and it won't even that
They don't
great.
give Black women shows anymore. They're all loving hip hop. Insert this city here.
Yeah, but she still do comedy. She hadn't done comedy for years.
She had done some
other, but you could tell. If you look at that comedy special she did, you could tell she hadn't done comedy in a minute.
Hey,
I saw the new.
We forgetting about Soul Plane.
You said what about Soul Plane?
I said we forgetting about Soul Plane.
Everyone is forgetting about Soul Plane.
Yeah, we
were
trying
an actor that lets people know you were in Soul Plane. You haven't made nothing better since.
Kevin Hart. You know what? I had to get props to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart, I thought after he did Soul Plane, I was like, he's never going to make it big. He's never going to be at the point like where he's at now. Like,
oh man,
going to kill his career, and he proved me wrong. And he is doing phenomenal now.
Yeah,
because that film wasn't his fault. You could tell because they do this like this when they don't really trust the person they're gonna have as the main star. They put a whole bunch of other celebrities and names that you recognize in there around them. You put in the Method Man, the Snoop Dogg, the Gary Anthony, the Uncle Ruckus, R.I.P. Goddamn John Willis, DLU in that bitch, some more in that bitch. Damn, was all the Queens of Comedy in that?
Well, my man, what's his name? African man. What's his name?
That's my boy.
Oh yeah.
Godfrey.
Yeah, I forgot.
Leslie Gay Man, not like two men together. Fucking.
Everybody will be pregnant by the end of this fight.
What? Oh yes, Gay Man. And even Godfrey, like he got a successful podcast. Like think about it. That motherfucker started off as knockoff Orlando Jones.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give you a good example. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle had a killer show. The Chappelle show.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened, breakdown, left, whatever happened, left, went after, came back to the United States. He started from the bottom and did small clubs and worked himself back up and then commanded getting 20 million, 30 million for concerts. He didn't say, oh, well, I have too much pride. I can't do stuff like this. Look at where I've been at before. He worked his ass off to get and made more money than he would have made if he had took that deal for the third season of the Chappelle Show. That's what I'm saying about Taraji. I think they're about, Chappelle's a little younger than her, but
see, Dave did what these celebrities didn't or won't and don't have the balls that Dave left. Dave said, I don't want to do this. Exactly. I don't like that you're trying to make me do it. I don't care what you're trying to pay me. I'm out of here. And Dave literally got all the way to Africa.
Morality over money.
Morality over.
You ain't gonna see that too often.
He is. I remember he was telling the story at his Mark Twain Award acceptance speech. One of his grandfather or his great grandfather was a slave. And obviously, to make a long story short, he was a slave that stood up for, before he even had them, human rights. And I want to say that he was looking at something in a book somewhere and saw his great grandfather's signature on some liberation type shit. And the story, like Dave Chappelle, the reason he can command that, one, he has an amazing story behind why he's demanding it. Because he's standing up for artistic integrity. And that is the difference between Dave Chappelle and all of these other artists and all of these other actors and comedians and celebrities and singers that say that they're not being paid justly. You want to be paid because you feel like you are supposed to be paid like everyone else because you work just as much. Dave Chappelle stood on principle because this is my passion. This is my purpose. So I don't care if I got to go back to Central Park and just be out here with a microphone telling jokes to an open crowd of like 13 people. I don't care if I got to go back to the comedy room that I started in when I was like 16, 17 and do jokes for like 5 or 6 people, because I tell jokes. That's what I'm here and put on this earth to do. You don't have to pay me millions for it. What I wanted was creative control over my work, not more. And what they did was they tried to offer him more money. So that he would give up creative control. And they said, well, we'll make you look crazy. Who would turn down $50 million? They got Neil Brennan. They got fucking Ashley Larry, Donnell Rollins, that's his name. They even got R.I.P. Charlie Murphy to speak negatively about Dave in his absence, knowing that what they were pushing was propaganda by Viacom CBS. Like, imagine Dave in Africa sitting there just reading the paper, Chappelle on crack and flees to Africa. Honey, have you read this? Apparently I'm on crack. I'm definitely in Africa.
Man, it's so much respect. Salute to Dave, man. You don't like, ain't a whole lot of people that's gonna do that. We all can just go back and just think about that peak. Like, that show was like the best show at that time, like 2002, 2003. That show was like the biggest show at the time, man. At its peak.
The DVDs came out and did amazing. Like the show actually got actually when it came out, because he's very fierce in his racial repertoire. The show was panned a lot by obviously angry white men. But it was when they released the DVD, the home DVD, that it sold like 2 million copies in a day. It became the highest grossing DVD or TV show DVD fucking ever. Which again leads the company to say, okay, we see that you have some worth, you have some value. We'll offer you a little bit more, not what you're completely worth, because we made a bunch off of your DVDs, but we'll offer you a portion of that to give us a season 3. And he's like, well, no, I don't want, the money doesn't fucking matter. I want to be able to control what I project into the world. Because as he was saying, that, you know, I'm perfectly fine with my racial jokes, but it was when a white person on set laughed in a way that made me uncomfortable that I had to find some morality, that I had to think about what is important to me. Just telling jokes and cutting a check, or how I portray and represent my people. And myself, knowing that I am a child or a descendant of former slaves in this country. Now being paid more than my slave forefathers could have ever hoped to be. First off, I'm being paid. From the simple fact that I know my grandfather was a slave, or my great-grandfather was a slave, or my great-great-grandfather was a slave in this country, the fact that I work and receive payment for it, never would have saw that coming. So I do feel as though some of our celebrities are very entitled and overprivileged and accustomed to their luxurious lifestyle, to where you having hundreds of thousands in your bank account isn't enough because you want the hundreds of millions. But you don't believe in pumping your craft and putting effort into your craft enough, like you do with the show, Big Red. Like, you're not doing this for a check. You do this because this is what you feel like is your calling, your purpose, your passion to do. None of us get paid to be here. We do this because we like to converse in hostile manners. It's passion, it's purpose, it's literally a calling that drives a person to stand up to morality. A lot of people that got into the industry, they didn't get into the industry to be positive figures. They got into the industry to be influential figures. They got into the industry to just no longer have to deal with the poverty or not having that they previously came from. And Taraji's from DC, so I know she was poverty.
Oh, okay. But I think I wish John got to hear that. I think he's from DC.
He'll probably say, "Hey, yeah, poverty."
All right. We're gonna wrap it up on that one. We'll get to the last one. We're just gonna go into the deepest thought for tonight, and just take a listen,
because you know you was up next.
What's that? Oh yeah, I know.
I was telling Kiki Palmer, who I know is an avid watcher of this show. She
right. Yeah, we'll have to save her for next time. But we'll go with the deepest thought. Take it in and enjoy.
That's what whoever said to Christian.
Help! What's going on? Babe, help me! I got you, but I need you to do something for me. What? Admit you were wrong.
Never.
Man.
See, I knew it. I knew it.
Man.
It's funny that they can joke about that, but if you actually said that to a woman, they would get offended.
I bet she probably still let go too. She probably still would let go.
Accountability.
Accountability is like a code. You don't want to catch it.
Accountability.
Hey, I know motherfuckers that have gotten COVID multiple times, but they will never catch accountability.
Accountability.
I know people.
What is that? Kryptonite?
Yeah, I know people got COVID and just won't admit they had it. Nah, it was a cold. Like,
People
nigga,
treat accountability like it's brokenness.
You lost your whole taste buds. You were sick. You were in ICU. That was not a cold. You had COVID. Nah, I'm one of the people who never caught COVID.
Like, nah, man, it's just a little, you know what I'm saying, allergy season. Then your eyeballs on the floor.
Right. Nah, man, that happens all the time, man. I'm not Charleston White, man. One of my eyeballs got scratched out. I hate this world.
I hate looking at him.
All right. I was wrapping up. This has been Hostile Therapy with Big Red, LT. Showing up again. I know he's got something to say about Palestine and some other things before he checks out.
There is now anti-Hamas propaganda being pushed in America. And not to say Hamas is the good guys. I am not saying Hamas is the good guys. But we're so quick to say, save Israel from Hamas, or excuse me, save Palestine from Hamas. Why are we not saving Palestine from Israel? Because Hamas, look, but you know what? That's neither here nor there. We'll talk about it next week during Kwanzaa.
All right. Yeah, let's mention Kwanzaa in there before we check out. And Tim, thanks for coming on, man. You want to give a shout before we?
Hey, look, I'm gonna say this one thing, man. Hopefully next week, cause you got a lot of people that love TD Jakes.
Oh Lord.
Just hope it don't be no craziness by next week, cause boy.
I hope so. I literally, I'll walk into a fucking church.
Hey, the church house is gonna go crazy.
I'll walk into a church with a picture of motherfucking Tom Ellis as Lucifer.
Oh man.
If there's anything that comes out about TD Jakes in a negative way, we'll definitely be reporting on that.
Oh yeah.
TD Jakes, no.
They love TD Jakes.
They love TD Jakes. People love. I got a lot of family members that listen to TD Jakes.
Oh yeah, me too.
And all that. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't know nothing about him to say he's done anything negative, but he deals with a lot of celebrities like Diddy. So yeah,
Diddy parties. That's enough said.
Well, I don't know why he's in any party with Diddy. I don't know why he's in any party. Period. This is a party in the church. Ain't no party like a Holy Ghost party because a Holy Ghost party don't stop. I thought that's what supposed to go to.
The Holy Ghost party definitely stopped. The Holy Ghost party stopped when y'all start doing butt stuff with each other. That's when the Holy Ghost was like, okay, well, I guess I'm out of here. Nothing holy going on except for your buttholes.
It's a whole different hole.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Thanks for getting on Hostile Theory, not because you want it, but because you need it. And we'll see y'all next Thursday, bright and late, 7 p.m. sharp on YouTube. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Free that Palestine shit.